Again, fuck's sake.
Hi! You didn't hear that swearing. Welcome in.
So beautifully timed.
No, that was just what I was thinking. So just for some context, I've been struggling so much with my lighting, just this lighting, and that my camera constantly tries to turn me purple, like Karsh's shirt. And so, and just as we were about to go live, right, we're going live, suddenly, vroom, purple, like, ah. But no, so
it's been a whole thing
blow a fuse
in the pre-show today. A massive whole thing in the pre-show.
I have new lights in my room, but that means I have to rejig everything.
That's why I never changed mine. Ever. They're just stuck there. So hi, welcome in everybody.
Oh no, there we go. Look, see, purple. And if I kind of cover the camera and then it goes back to normal. So at least there's a fix now. Before it wouldn't fix.
Let's try a third time. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Saints and Sinners. This is GoblinCaveTV. My name is Karsh the Goblin. Our 41st episode of Descent into Avernus, with our amazing Lorian Ross, the swearing person, as our TM.
The swearing person. So just to give you a clue of how accurate that is. So you can go on there was a thing a while ago on Twitter where you could like have a word cloud be generated from the words that you tweet. And I swear to God, in the middle of mine was just two in big bold letters, fucking music.
It's apt description.
I want to find that. I want to find that at some point. Let's see if I can find it again, because that was chef's kiss.
So yeah, we're back finally. Awesome. I'll get the Syrinscape back up and running. We turn it down for the movie, of course. We're running Syrinscape in our background audio because epic games need epic sound. We may also be using battle bards because Lorian has a penchant for battle bards. We also have a
I got it for some very specific tracks, which I wanted for emotional moments, such as resurrections. So yes, we've entered a partnership with Battle Bards.
I'm still trying to find the Ashe button.
No, I didn't forget. Shut up.
No, my Ashe button.
Okay, I need to
there we go.
This.
Exclamation point bard. That's the one.
There we go. Yes, you can do that. You can type exclamation point bard
in
the live chat to find out the specific details. But yes, so if you can use our code. So if you go onto this, I've lost. Yeah. I keep forgetting to do
if you
this.
register with GoblinCaveTV, you get
you found it.
Get a little bit of a discount or something like that, I'm guessing. And it helps us. With enough of them, we get some free stuff from them. That's pretty much it. They're not a sponsor, but they are working with us with that deal because it does help us out in the long run.
Yeah, found it. Okay, found it. So, BattleBards Prime subscription service gives you streaming access to all BattleBards content, as well as there are tools, there's soundboard, mixer, and webcaster, the ability to upload and mix private audio libraries, and 20% discount on all purchases. If you use our coupon code, GoblinCaveTV, you can get a discount on the subscription service, and using that will grant us additional benefits. So, there you go. That's all I needed to say. I'm going to pin this to my forehead.
That might make you turn purple again.
I don't lose it again. All right,
just
continue.
put it there.
That was it.
Okay, fantastic. You can help out the channel by donating. If you donate to the channel, every $1 or per 100 bits, you essentially you're donating a dice to the players. It scales up from D4, D8, D10 to D12. We do have a D12 in play. Thank you so much for the donations last time. I do apologize that the donation came through during a very heartfelt moment, and we couldn't interrupt we couldn't interrupt the scene. So when we finally could do it, we said thank you, but I think by the time you'd left, so I'm sorry. But yeah, we just couldn't interrupt that scene. I'm sorry. But we do have a D12 in play. I don't think it goes to anybody. So we have a D12 in play at the moment. And we have our new overlay. We're still working on it. Things might break, but we're working on it. We're trying. I think it's impressive. I love it. The art is done. All the details and everything's in the credits for who's did everything in the overlay. But all the functionality was MrLiveProducer, and it's amazing. Let's get into the game. Let's do our introductions and get into the game. So, Reservoir.
Hi everyone, I'm Del. I'm playing Reservoir, the Water Genasi sorcerer. Lorian is breaking me. And breaking my soul in two.
What?
Have
you considered trying getting a more sturdy soul?
That would probably be smart, everything considered. I'll try and work on that a little bit today. But I'm excited for what this brings. Last session was really fun, and I'm sure that this session will be more of that.
Will?
Yes, hey everybody, my name is Will. I'm playing Ashe the Fire Genasi Artificer. And today, we will finally go out and explore the wonderful, wonderful world of Hell. Recommended by many people on TripAdvisor.com. And yeah, so it's going to be really nice. And I hope that we have a good time and hope you guys enjoy today's episode. So yeah.
And if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, and all the other...
Yeah, all the bits and pieces.
MLP.
Hello, I'm MrLiveProducer. I'll be playing your Dwarven Barbarian Ranger, Burlock, who, well, I haven't had the Crisis of Faith, but I've used the opportunity to look through the library we have access to for information about what happened to my dead wife, who got killed by a fell iron weapon. And yeah, it's been interesting lately, which is good. And hopefully I'll be even more of a pile of terror and destruction.
And myself, I'm Karsh the Goblin. I'm playing Warwick, the disgruntled paladin, you could say. He's determined that he's probably going to die for these idiots, so who knows? Lorian?
And hi, yes, first, before I introduce myself, I should point out Emi can't join us today. She's come down with a horrible, horrible cold, and her voice is just completely shot.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching from the chat, hi Emi, and we'll try not to kill Ava while you're gone for a second time. In the meantime, I'm Lorian Ross. I am your GM for tonight's episode of Descent to Avernus. And before we get in, I want to give a quick shout out to the Alexandrian, you can follow on Twitter at Hexcrawl, for his fantastic remix of the Descent to Avernus campaign, which I will be using going forward, because it does a tremendous job of really expanding and opening up this campaign with some really juicy new rules about exploration, which I'm excited to get into. So,
I was just
without
testing
further ado,
play.
Let us get into tonight's episode. When last we left our heroes, Ashe the Genasi Artificer, Burlock, I almost said human bard. I don't know why I almost said that. I don't know why that's where my brain went. We don't have a human or a bard in this party. Burlock the Dwarf Barbarian. Ava the Human Monk, that's why. We do have a human. Ava the Human Monk. Warwick the Human Paladin. We have 2 humans. I'm dumb tonight. And Reservoir the Genasi Sorcerer. The party, having rescued Mordenkainen from the clutches of the dark, far-light Penteract, a mind-bending, twisting, non-Euclidean dungeon filled with extraordinary horror from some far-off place, had a bit of a meeting with a few collective individuals. The Archmage, having recovered in a new cloned body, his old body having been killed in the dungeon. Yshtara, his Arcanoloth associate. A strangely out of place, regular old human wizard called Alexandru, who claims to have been from Candlekeep on behalf of Silvera Silvacus, the tiefling who unlocked the puzzle box way back when the party first left the material plane, sent on her behalf to divulge some new research that they had been conducting at Candlekeep, which might benefit the party. And a strange and unexpected visitor in the form of Mad Maggie, the night hag and semi-warlord of Avernus. She kind of keeps to herself, but she seems to have taken a liking to the party for one reason or another. And together, they broke down some myths, some old information, discovered that the contract signed by, originally thought to have been signed by Thavius Krieg, was in fact a red herring, and the true contract, a platinum inscribed tablet dating way back to the time of a ruler of Elturel called Belandi, details a far more scrupulous and unbreakable oath binding the citizens of Elturel. The party discussed their potential ways forward, how to deal with this city, as after all, that is why they had originally come to seek the aid of Mordenkainen. It emerged several possible proceedings. The contract must be destroyed. As there is no loophole present in the text, the only thing to break it would be a destruction of the contract itself. Either forced upon retrieval of the two separate pieces, one of which you hold, one of which presumably is held by Zariel, or by some miracle if you were able to convince Zariel to break it. Although heavens knows how you would manage that. In addition, it was discussed how, once the contract would be broken, how to free the city itself from the chains slowly dragging it closer towards the River Styx. And finally, perhaps the greatest puzzle of all, is the hidden memories trapped within the Hollyphont companion Lulu, and the methods to unlock them and find your way to a sacred artifact, a sword once held by the Archangel, former Archangel, which might prove instrumental, or not, in saving the city. To which end, Mad Maggie brought forward this concept of a dream machine, this contraption she'd been working on, but it was still missing several important components. An Ivanian cogbox, a heartstone, Phlegothosian sand, and astral pistons. With but these leads to go on, and very little else, the party resolves themselves to set out once more unto the plains of Avernus, armed now with a better understanding of the geography of this place, thanks to the addition of a strange object called a planar compass, which helps tie their location down from being less metaphysical to more structured. And so, as we pick off, what is everyone doing as the meeting comes to a close? Mad Maggie takes her leave, and it seems like Mordenkainen starts to head back upstairs to continue his recuperation.
So are we going west or not west?
It's wherever we have to go. I mean, we still haven't decided exactly what we're supposed to do here. That's the thing, right?
Well, we can go into a volcano. At least that'll be obvious to find. Or we can go searching other things. There's the trying to find the temple is not going to be easy.
I mean, we have the idea that it might be by the statue or under the statue, but it might also not be.
The crying
It's just
statue.
a story, yes. The holy water.
I mean, are we going to dig? Kind of a holy site. and it's not very strong anymore. It's only just holding on.
I know that there's a lot of different things, and I know that even then, Mad Maggie's memory machine is a viable option, but for you, Warwick, I know that you want to actually help this this crazy person, but still, I feel that with the leads and what we have for now, we should at least go check places we've already been. Because getting the lay of the land, especially with this new compass, would be better, if anything.
Why do I get the feeling that you just want to play with a new gadget?
It's besides the point.
I mean, if it was a new war machine, I understand totally.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad to check it out, and we can always, you know, just to make sure it works. And in theory,
It is a holy site, so if we do go back, I do have to marry someone. That is the rules.
I don't believe those are the rules.
Is that what happened
And
last
I
time?
looked
Who
directly
got married
between-
last time?
Can I roll a religion check to see if he's
I-
bullshitting?
I just looked
By
between
all means.
Ashe and Reservoir. Like, I mean, just you know, I know there's like hostility, but like, gotta mend bridges.
Right.
Mhm.
And the statue isn't that far, at least compared to.
No, it's not that far.
Oh no, I think we lost Del.
We lost her.
From Mordenkainen's tower. Oh no! Wait, you did?
We're good.
I'm
good.
here.
No.
Your video's frozen, but we can hear you.
Video's frozen. Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I can
there you
still
are.
see you guys.
We keep going.
It's fine. What? I think. What is it that we want to do in the long run? Like what?
Well, this
How are we going?
the memory machine will help try to find out what we need, what is where the place is, or we can just start going around aimlessly.
No, the main thing is we're finding the sword. The sword is what
And-
we need to, even if we have a chance of trying to negotiate with Zario, and just having it in our
So
back pocket.
negotiating.
I feel we should negotiate. Do you feel that we can take on an archdevil now? Even with these new toys, I don't feel like. I mean,
No,
just look
I'm
at
with you on
us. We
that.
can't.
There was also the book, right? That they needed to find.
There was a lot of stuff.
There's the book. There's
that I
finding.
believe Alexandru wanted. That was in Elturel before.
Make an intelligence check.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. You're pretty tired. And I mean, anyone can make this check
Yeah,
if they want to.
All right,
I think, didn't he want the book that basically held all of Elturel's rules and then had the signatures of the Hell Riders?
I think so. Hold on. My character is not loading. But let's assume I make the check. Let me just make an intelligence check. There it goes. There it loads. Okay, I don't make the check.
It's weird.
Warwick.
It's all about marriage.
I appreciate how the people with the
You-
highest modifiers roll the lowest.
Definitely remember when you Ash, this kind of makes sense. When you were in Elturel, there were many other things distracting you when you were there. But Warwick, just your kind of detachment from the city allowed you to kind of like take in the time when you were there and keep it stored a bit more accurately. You remember that the de facto leader who had appointed themselves caretaker of the people trapped beneath the citadel was carrying a book, a hefty book, a book that looked to be of some importance.
and she pointed out that was the book where everyone signed things. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where the book is.
Yeah.
It's in
Just
Eltra.
getting up there. It was discussed last time. Like, how do we get up? Falling down's easy. Gravity is just like you drop things and you fall. Getting up against that's the hard part. We don't have wings.
I mean, same thing I said before. We kind of know the lay of the land, at least on the ground. We could leave that for a future date.
I mean, if we could get up there, I'm all for doing that one first. But I don't think we can get up there, and even when we do get up there, I don't think we can get down.
If we can't even get down, then I think that's a last resort, right?
Very sorry, my internet just went out, so I do not know what happened.
Oh, good, we're back.
I'm
But, I mean,
so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with it today.
That's all right.
if we could get up there, as I said, I would say, go to Eltrell. That like at least we know where things are, and we can check up on how like the people of the Eltrell, people of the town, see how they're going. Maybe even bring them provisions if we can find some. But
Let's bring them provisions from the none that we have. Yeah, that sounds like a great
we
thing.
know where the well, we can always track down the bazaar. I was going to say we know where it is. We can always track it down. Get provisions and get provisions to them, but it's getting to there. That's the issue, and then getting out of there.
I mean, how far above the river was El Terrell?
Barely, quite far indeed. It had.
I'm sure it's come down a little bit.
It had definitely. In your time there, you definitely felt it like sink while you were there. But in terms of how it is now, you're not sure. It didn't seem to be going incredibly fast.
Was it when we left? Was it like above 500 feet?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Easily.
I mean,
I can probably find out exactly what it was because.
We can always try and do a similar situation where I could, polymorph someone into.
And then that person gets attacked by everything else that can fly, which is not us. Natural flyers. I mean, I do agree. I think that's a great idea. I'm just trying to point out possibilities, not just being negative here.
We may be able to request the assistance of a mage of more skill than ourselves and just kind of gestures upward.
I don't think he's really able to help much. You saw how frail he looked.
Glancing across the room to the person from Candlekeep.
Oh, he's disappeared.
Mm.
Oh, wait, did he leave?
His door.
I would say, as the kind of discussion came to an end, you kind of all huddled together. I would say probably Burlock would have noticed. He kind of opened a door in that just reached out somewhere invisible, and a door appeared in midair, and he stepped through, and then he closed it, and the door disappeared.
Gotta get one of those.
I meant to give him a letter to send to my parents. That's okay.
Reservoir, make an Arcana check. If you feel you saw that, because you saw him step out of it earlier, so make an Arcana check.
Yeah, if I saw him step out of it earlier, I probably wouldn't pick up on it again because my passive. Yeah, no. Apparently, I have no idea what this is.
I'll say Ashe can make it as well because you're both kind of trained in Arcana.
It's been a long day.
Ashe, you know exactly what that spell is. That is Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion. And he's not gone anywhere. There's just this sort of demi-plane he's conjured.
He's
sort of a safe haven.
It's a little bit like do you know that spell like your hut? He's still here. He isn't gone. He didn't dimension door out of here. He's here still. So we can still talk to him. Although my question, how did he even get down here in the first place is my question. Safely at least.
Walk?
Well, I assume by similar means to all of you.
We
You
were
had a
brought down by
powerful-
a weasel.
not just like an ordinary one, though, a powerful mage, correct?
Yes, the otter. Very
the otter.
powerful indeed, but is this
So,
is
Some
this one
sort of
powerful?
magic.
Also, remember he's
it's a
also
magical otter.
disappeared. An otter.
If he managed to get down here, then
You can help us
he
get
might
up, maybe.
potentially have some ability to do that.
Either way,
I
Just-
think magic is the safest bet for us to get to the top. Back to Eltero, at least. But as it stands, our options, Mordenkainen is still out of it, so to say. And we have our new friend, but he may not be powerful enough to take all of us. I think going back to Eltero is a situation for a little bit later. At least for now.
Mhm.
it may be a case of this person leaving and we don't get a chance to go there.
Well, let's talk to him first. He's still here.
Knock, knock. Hi.
Make a perception check because the door is invisible.
I.
Could I roll have advantage if I saw a move disappear?
Sure.
Oh, disadvantage.
Darn.
Kind
I
of.
really liked the idea of, oh yes, just knocking wherever you're standing.
Just somewhere like the absolute opposite direction. Go, knock, knock. Hello.
Yeah, I will say everyone has disadvantage except Burlock. Would be how this goes. So yeah, Warwick, you start. Burlock, you just like. You pick up a stone, throw it in the general direction. You see it bounce off something. You go, yeah.
What are you doing? He's over here.
There's a moment, and you hear. Master Dwarf. Yes. Can I help you? Sorry, I was just preparing to return to Candlekeep.
Yes. Before you head off, could you take some information up with you to let people know what's going on?
Of course. I would have asked before leaving anyway, but of course.
Of course. Also, we are still trying to work out what our best course of action would be. In your learned opinion, what would that be? Because you heard everything that's going on,
I did, yes.
we are just a few people, so we have to make the best of our time because we might be on a time frame for a few of the options.
My advice would be. It's a tough one. You're seeking disparate pieces of esoteric and strange machinery and objects. I would go searching for rumors. Is there a place where, if this is a plane like any other, this is certainly a more lawful plane. I would imagine there'd be some place where you could gather information, ask some of the local denizens.
Bizarre.
There is.
You know,
Well, perhaps
Not
it's
bizarre,
rumor
but the
searching.
bizarre. So that might be an idea to get
The
lay of the
marketplace.
land. Yeah.
What we were actually thinking is, seeing you right here, one of the places for investigation is to try to get the book is to go to Elturel. It's a bit high up for us to walk. We can't fly. We don't have magics in that type of style to move us that far. What we were really
Without being
asking-
seen.
Well, without being seen, and I believe when we fell down out of there, things were trying to chase us.
You
But
flew down.
we fell.
You did fly down.
You
Far.
flew down.
falling with grace.
Yeah. But we were still being chased by things. but getting up there is a lot harder, and we're actually wanting to ask if you were able to get us up there with your abilities that we sorely
I'm
lack.
afraid there's not much I can do in that regard. There is
I'm trying to be
no
polite as well for once.
There's no teleportation circle I know of in the city that I could perhaps utilize. Other types of magic are not of my repertoire. And besides, I mean, please don't take this the wrong way, but I want to get out of here as quickly as I can.
That
truly
I
do
think
not
we
know
can
your position,
understand.
But I'm a researcher foremost. This is an extraordinary opportunity to see something I'd only read about, and now I feel I have quite experienced it enough.
Have you stepped outside? At least this is cool in here. Have you actually been
I'm
outside?
well aware.
The heat?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. It's not fun.
I was off the mark with my arriving here by a little bit.
You packed for
So
cold
I
weather,
did-
did you?
No, but let's just say I had to brave the elements somewhat before finding myself here.
Ashe.
I'd rather not do again. But I do hope you understand. I'm not a battle mage by any means.
Well, you still have
also-
more. You still have time to learn.
Yes. Although
Also,
the front lines of the Blood War are not the best training grounds.
yeah, no.
Actually,
You'd be surprised.
yeah. I used to be a scholar.
These
I
books are
didn't
terrible.
go to El Terrell with the intention of fighting for the city and my life.
So
You also said the otter has also disappeared. Do you have
Yes.
Traxidor? Sorry. Do you have any idea what could have waylaid them at all?
I honestly haven't a clue. He is, as I'm sure you might have been able to tell, among the
Eccentric.
most eccentric people I've ever known or heard about. I mean,
you can say
to use a
otter.
wish. I mean, to use amongst the most powerful magic available to us mortals to alter himself in such a way takes an extraordinary leap of imagination and
I thought he said that was done to him.
eccentricity. No,
He just
no.
liked
was
it that
of his-
way and kept it.
He was, from what I've heard, is that he was a very old human at the end of his years, and rather than, I don't know, he just fancied a new body, and for some reason I cannot fathom, decided on otter, because why not? So, knowing that type of individual, I cannot begin to fathom what trouble he's getting himself into down here. I imagine he's probably
Building a dam?
He's probably waylaid his tuning fork or something ridiculous, and goodness knows what has become of him since.
I mean, if he builds a dam across the sticks, that could cause trouble.
I mean, you said you were off the
Enemies-
mark when you arrived here. Could it be possible that he simply went off mark when he was trying to go back?
I don't know. The last people of any record who saw him were you lot. And you say he just vanished.
That wasn't us.
Didn't vanish. He cast a spell to get away. Different.
So, whatever the case may be, he's not home. He's not in the material plane. He's not in this tower or in Candlekeep, and he cannot be found. And scrying has failed. So
Maybe he found a lady otter.
that would be most disturbing.
He's eccentric.
He might not even be on this plane anymore. Maybe he's found himself in the Beastlands, for all I know.
Huh.
But whatever the case may be, he is missing. So if you happen to come across him, let him know that
Have you
there's
got some posters that
people
we want to
who are
put up?
wondering about his well-being.
Have you seen?
Associates, they're concerned for him.
We will
Yes.
keep a lookout for any otter corpses we find on the road. Okay.
Have you
That's good.
have you seen
Or
this
people
otter?
wearing otter skin? I'm sure it's not really a known fashion down here. So
I
just-
mean, he
Oh.
may be an eccentric fellow, but he is among the more powerful archmages of the current age. I doubt he would be taken down so easily.
we killed.
Lest I remind you, his transformation was not a simple polymorph. It is made permanent by a wish. So, his capabilities to survive in this place and many worse would be considerable.
Oh, we just went hand to hand with like. So, possible.
We'll send him your way if we find him.
Mordenkainen would
That's
be his
fine.
diametric opposite. Mordenkainen is concerned primarily with balance, whereas Draxigor is among the more chaotic people I've ever met.
Oh well, if we find him, we'll send him back
I'd appreciate that.
if we can.
I'm sure he can take care of himself, but just I thought I'd let you know. It's as
Thank
of a
you.
little.
We'll keep an eye out.
If he wanted to return back to the material plane, I'm sure he would have done. It's more a case of, if you find him, let him know to not shirk his duties.
Paperwork piling up. If we do find him and he's misplaced his tuning fork, do you have a spare that we can give him?
I have the one, but I require it to go home right now. I suppose I could provide...
Or
might be
something that...
Is a tuning
way
fork
to
like a
make
map?
No, a tuning fork. It's quite. Let me show you. And he kind of ducks back inside, and he pulls out, literally, a metal. If you know what a tuning fork is, it's a metal tine with two bits that go up. It's like a two-pronged fork, and he hits it on the wall, and you hear, bing, a pure tone sign out.
Take your
Each-
fork out. Mine doesn't do it.
No,
Because that's not a tuning fork, Warwick.
it's an eating fork difference.
Mine's got
Each-
3. Yeah.
Each of these tuning forks are incredibly precise. To the frequency of this tone is resonant with the energies of the material plane, and similarly, tuning forks to other planes have different frequencies which resonate differently. If you were to get a tuning fork wrong by even a couple cents, hundredths of a semitone, it could take you somewhere completely different. It could take you to the lowest planes of the abyss, for all you know. So that's very, very precise and very delicate. I'm afraid I can't provide this one as I needed to get back, but
Of course.
Perfectly understandable.
So, off to the market?
The bazaar's fine. Information is
I
more
think the
important.
bazaar is most important. Also,
We're not
Could
that
you
far
make
from the crying lady.
let's see where Avernus takes us, because we still have a little bit of luck that's required. But Burlock reaches into a pocket and passes a letter-ish, and just could you make sure this is sent?
who's out of character? Who's it addressed to?
I'm still toying around with some backstory about that, but there will be a letter, and I'm
Okay.
just trying to work it out in backstory.
Okay, of course.
And if you will, and I will pull out my own letter, which is addressed to Lena Amasarian Precipitation and has the address written. I don't know what the best way to get that to you would be, if you want me to put it in a handout or message you on Discord or anything.
If you message me on Discord, that'll be alright.
I will
And this,
do that.
this copper feather for Captain Zodge.
Captain
Don't-
Zod.
Don't say who it's from. the same mysterious benefactor, he'll know.
Who's Captain Zodge?
The guy who,
Baldur's
the main
Gate.
guy, Baldur's Gate guy.
Oh, I think it's Lieutenant. Or Corporal. It's been a while. Could have been promoted or
Oh,
depromoted.
Is he Captain? Is he from the Flaming Fist?
Yes,
Yeah.
Flaming Fist.
I'm a fist man.
Be unwise to provoke his ire, but I'll see what I can do. I mean, I doubt you very much care.
He'll
being
know
down
who it's
here,
for.
but
Don't worry about that.
I will see what can be done. Oh. I
Actually-
reckon I'm about ready to depart myself. And he kind of steps outside, and he clicks his fingers, and the door kind of shrinks down, and then what looks to be a stately house in miniaturized form appears around it, which he picks up off the floor and pockets.
See, Reservoir, we need one of those.
Safe travels.
Thank you. I shall
Luck.
be sure to
Don't
post
die.
yours messages post haste, and best of luck. Your efforts here have not gone unnoticed, at least by those in the know in Candlekeep. We eagerly await word of your success. Godspeed. And
Remember,
he
don't tell Zod who it's for.
and he pulls out the tuning fork, and once again he strikes it against the wall. But this time, as the ringing begins, he speaks an utterance, and the ringing seems to amplify and resonate. And you start to see the air around him start to shimmer and resonate with that same frequency as the tuning fork, and then suddenly he vanishes.
Also,
I really hope Dodge doesn't know who that's from. That's gonna piss him off. That's gonna be so good.
DM, Rita was left into Rhea Mantlemore and just let her know what's going on.
Rare Mantlemorn.
The
Ray's
She's here.
no,
an Elturel.
okay then, cancel that. I can't remember that. My brain
Stay
this
behind.
morning.
She stayed behind an Elturel to help the survivors.
I just appreciate like the dynamic of something sent purely to annoy an individual, something sent to inform an individual, and something sentimental. Like just the differences.
She also died.
Yeah. No, she didn't. When did she die?
No, she didn't.
Do we need to track down the episode?
She might have gone unconscious, but I don't think she died.
Either way,
No, because
'Cause I
I'm pretty
distinctly
sure we
remember-
left her alive in.
Because
Elturel.
Ava was the first resurrection ritual, because I used Matt Mercer's rules, so that was the first time I used them. So she definitely didn't die.
I'll find on the break. I've got a clip. Either way,
All right, let's go find the bazaar, and then
we are close to the crying lady.
yeah, let's go check. Let's go out and
At least
visit the
spend a
sweltering
safe
heat.
Lorian, can I ask? I think along with our like magic items, there was like gold and other stuff with that too, right?
yeah, it was platinum.
There was a collection of essentially currency.
Okay. Was any of it in like was it all I guess material plane currency, or was any of
Yeah,
it?
it was. Yeah, it was primarily platinum pieces.
Okay.
Did I give you a number for that? I'm pretty sure I gave you a number for that.
You might have. It's possible that I.
Didn't write anything down.
And the main focus was the items, but
Yes, I was definitely more concerned with those, but I was wondering if there were any particularly gems or anything.
no, it was if there was are there gems in particular you were looking for?
Well, it might be useful to pick up a couple pearls. But then in addition, Ashe, you said if you had a diamond, then you might have been able to do something when we were still there.
Yeah, if I have it, I had completely forgotten that I had left my diamond before. But yes, if I have a diamond on deck, I can stave off death. I'm kind of like at Warwick. Stave off death for a little bit at least.
Just
Possible. So
perhaps
maybe
if we're
get
ever in a
one-
circumstance.
get
So I
one,
will
two,
say-
maybe.
Among that collection of gems, I will say you could find 7 pearls, a diamond worth 300, and a diamond worth 500.
Okay. For pearls, would they specifically be like of the quality required for Fortune's favor?
Yeah. Yes. They
Okay.
would be.
I love that spell so much.
It's good. It's expensive as well.
I will hold the diamonds. Can you learn the spell too, Reservoir? Or is it just... I mean, does the staff have that spell or no? Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It does have some fairly powerful spells, but resurrection magic has always been a bit beyond me.
Fair enough. All right, I'll keep the diamonds then. You just keep the pearls.
So we just found diamonds and pearls.
And
Yeah,
platinum
just-
as well.
Yes, there were just some in the bathroom on the tile, and we just took it. It's all good.
It's part of the. I will assume it's part of the
The prince,
collection of
part of the prince
treasures that you guys
collection.
the reward
Hmm.
as your reward.
For those that don't know, just don't worry. The old people got it. That's okay.
God, yeah.
Oh.
All right,
Feel old, why don't you? Where's my day?
let's
Yeah.
let's get out of here. I mean, we've probably overstayed our welcome just a little long. So
It's nice and cold though, but oh well. Let's go
Before
out.
you go, you hear Yashar's voice once more. Just something for the road, and she passes a small bag. You'll find a week's worth of dried rations in there. Good rations as well.
Ooh.
It'll keep, but it's among the best you can expect. Although I don't know how long they'll last in this place, but at least while they do, they'll be good.
It's greatly appreciated.
Stay safe. And with a simple, without even much of a show of emotion or regard, turns on her heels and heads back upstairs.
Okay, so let's go and get killed.
Ava, do you think
Yes,
you're ready?
yes, yes.
You think you're okay to travel?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You've just been a bit quiet there.
A little tired.
Yeah, so I would suggest if we do get into a battle, just don't run in again. Not until you get your voice
But I
back.
got these new boots.
hang back. You're looking pale,
out.
and a bit sluggish. So just hang back a little bit. All right.
Fine.
We've already lost you once. We don't want to lose you again.
And again, and again,
And again,
and again, and
again.
again, and again.
You stop worrying about me. So I'm alright.
How long have I known you for? I'm always going to worry about you. And Burlock opens the door out, winces from the heat, and starts walking towards the car. Well, if our vehicle is still left there.
It is, yeah. It's
Do we enable the club? And it's just this big giant troll of a club there.
is it propped up on cinder blocks and just all the wheels are going?
should roll
Did
for
Mad Maggie leave us a surprise?
it. No, it's fine.
I want my horn.
Oh. Did she leave us? Did Mad Maggie leave Warwick a horn?
Make an investigation check.
No. I'm good at these. Oh, just take the first roll. 19.
22.
It's with normal
Look
because I actually.
around. You don't see anything changed. You don't see anything fiddled with or added or taken away. It seems to be exactly how you left it.
I'm just gonna do a rudimentary check, just looking around, and then once everything's fine, just start it and say,
Ooh.
back on the
Well,
road.
we need to put a new we need to put a new soul coin in.
Oh, do you even have any left?
Oh,
I've got them.
I've got 5 at the moment.
Yeah,
I have one.
I think I have a couple.
I'll spend one of mine. So spend one of mine. Done.
You insert the coin into the slot, and as you kind of take it out your pouch and it makes contact with your skin, you just hear, and as you drop it in, you hear a soft scream as it disappears down to the engine of this machine.
Is it bad that it's almost desensitizing?
I still hate that.
And we're gonna spend some more soul coins at the bazaar, so just get ready.
Well, not spend. We've got a good amount of platinum and stuff, and there is a trading system, more or less. So,
Well, I just used my copper feather to troll Zod, so can't trade that anymore. Oh damn! We should have been the troll doll. That would've been
Just
so
be
much better.
prepared. Come on.
Wouldn't have had a clue about the troll doll.
Right, so are we going to the bazaar or the statue first?
Statue first, I think. Because if we can't find the sword, we get information about it in the bazaar.
And it's a nice place to rest. It's
For the purposes of going forwards,
Here we
armed with your new
go.
compass, this map is now literal. So what you see on this map is where you go. But there will be complications involved now, and there'll be navigational challenges, amongst other things, as we enter the hex crawl.
oh,
As developed
Here
by-
we go.
And so,
do we have a hex on the map?
no,
DM's Bane.
the hex is behind the closed screens. You have this map,
This map.
and this is I have the hex, but you do not. And so, you rev up. So, just a quick breakdown of the workings of these mechanics. As you travel, the days are split up into 4-hour chunks called watches. And as part of each watch, you can each decide one thing to do. Navigate, or forage, or be a sentinel, look out for danger, or scout ahead, things like that. And but you can only one, so if you do one, you can't do anything else for that 4 hours. In the next 4 hours, you can choose something else to do, etc., etc., etc. And I'll be rolling, we'll be doing checks about navigation and other things like that. So, you all step back into your vehicle, whose name I've forgotten. In fact, which vehicle was it?
Well, Bertha's
It
dead.
was it wasn't a Devil's Ride, was it? It wasn't a motorbike. It was one of the bigger ones, I've seem to remember.
I think,
it-
are we
one-
back to a tormentor?
It's a tormentor with a jury-rigged thing for a devil's rod on the back.
That's right. So, for the purpose of this, I'll click and drag a tormentor onto the map. At least I'll try to.
That is the biggest torment I've ever seen in my life.
It is
Oh my
literally a
goodness,
torment.
that's why. That's why. I was like, where's the map gone? But no, it just it had a...
It's just
like,
a giant tormentor.
Oh my... Why would it do that?
Let's show that. I just closed down the map, by the way.
That is...
It's tormenting you. It's living up
It's
to its
literally-
name.
That is absurd. Why did it do that? Did it... Is like the default token, like... Fudge?
So
Cuts or something?
giant.
I'll remove the default token and just drag a new one.
It might be because maybe the map is really small.
Nope.
Oh my
Nope.
god.
Oh,
It's a bit smaller.
It's-
It's a little bit smaller.
The map doesn't have-
Practically so large that you can't even get to an area to make it
Hold on.
smaller.
Hold
I
on.
was going to say,
This-
is the entire Avernus
That
on the
is-
back of a giant tormentor?
Okay, let's do it this way.
It's tormentors all the way down.
You can also
Just
change.
bring up a scavenger or something.
No, there we
Oh,
go.
there we go.
I just clicked and dragged it onto a different map. But also the text for the tower has vanished, so that's interesting.
We know that's Mordenkainen's
yeah.
tower.
Yeah.
Can we get a?
Which, speaking of which, as you step outside, and all of you leave the tower, you start to hear the crackling of energy and electricity. And you turn back, and you watch as lightning arcs from the tower, as it crackles and shimmers, and you hear another tone, a similar tone to what the tuning fork, vibrate and shimmer, louder this time before whoosh, the tower disappears.
Yep, that tracks.
Point of, did we actually give Mordenkainen the blood that he wanted us from the Tiamat's blood?
Yeah. I assume you did.
Yeah,
Okay,
I figured we probably did.
We didn't actually get.
And he
anything from
still
it, though.
owes us.
So we got
Crackles
Tiamat
and
owing
crackles
us
then.
and him owing us. Okay, gotcha.
So,
Yeah, it's true. Can we get we'll probably be able to draw it in like a notepad, or we'll probably be able to draw it in our own note journals. We have one
of what?
about the so we can work out
The hex crawl rules?
the hex-
is what you want?
X-Crawl
Yeah,
rules.
so the main thing you need to worry about
There we go.
are the watch actions. I've gotten like GM's notes, but I just wanna double check to make sure there's nothing
Yeah, that's all. No problem. I'll put it
there's
in the
nothing that like
into our journal.
spoilery.
So I'll drive if someone else does watch.
I'll do watch.
Or navigation, and there's scouting and foraging. So
So I just need to. Oh.
wouldn't you be
this
good
is-
at
this-
foraging, being a ranger?
My question is just what do these actions during a watches take? Would it be, do we justify using a skill, or would it be that they have set skills?
It's very so. Here we go. Watch actions. So, there's a lot there. I'll try and because I just copy pasted the whole thing from the website.
Yep, I can
Some of
see.
these, like advanced rule grazing, you don't have horses, so I can just delete that, for instance. So, sparse biomes, I mean that's pretty much where you are. So, essentially, pack puller is not gonna matter because you don't have pack animals. So, there we go. Essentially, you have foraging, navigating, resting, which is which you'll all do. Scouting, sentinel to look out. Sighting, which is looking out for actually, oh that one doesn't apply either. So yeah, I'm trying to simplify these as well because it's a lot of new stuff. So sighting, you don't need that. Oh, I get it. Yeah, sighting it. Say if you find looking out for somewhere you can climb, like a hill you can climb or a tree or something to get a better view out in the distance. Things like that, which is.
Okay, so sentinel, I'm good. I'm okay with that because being perception.
So, the main thing is who is navigating, and where are you trying to go?
Well, if we're close by if we think we're close by the angel statue, we would probably swing by the angel statue, and then we'll go to the marketplace.
Because this was the angel statue, correct?
Let's see. I need a. Where are
I
you?
believe that is.
That.
Yeah, with.
You. Not sure, but if you want to head in that direction, you can certainly find out.
All right, we'll find that out then.
Okay.
I,
So I need so who is navigating? Who is driving and trying to find their way through?
I can do sentinel. I can, as in keeping a lookout.
I think you need to drive, actually.
Me driving, okay.
Well, the problem is that none of us have proficiency with land vehicles.
Which I'm the only one that does.
I should, because I chose my particular thing for it, but I never actually got it set up properly.
Well, if you do have it, I can do outriding finally on the bike and actually, like, essentially being central.
No, we're not sending you out there by yourself.
I won't be far. It's about keeping an eye out for people coming into it.
I think that would be scouting, though, wouldn't it be?
No, there's the Outrider version where you can scout too,
We do
but
have
then
a
you're
bike.
looking for things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If we're gonna have an
in
Outrider,
addition,
Mhm.
yeah, who is sorry, no, yeah, I'll let you finish what you were going for.
I was gonna say that if we have an Outrider, we still have a bike, right? Just
Yeah, that's what
one?
I'm talking
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
One bike? Can
Yeah,
the bike
one
hold more
bike.
than one person, or is it only one? Is it two people too?
Bike can hold two.
Okay, I think if we're gonna have one Outrider, we have to have someone else with them as well.
That would be
'Cause I
wise.
I
Not
think,
leave anybody on their own.
yeah, I think for me specifically, I can help navigate since I'm bad at looking at things. I need glasses. And the other thing is that if we're gonna have Burlock drive, we'll have me navigating, and then someone can be scouting. Reservoir, are you good at scouting things?
It is not my best skill. I was mainly an academic, so
You can also navigate as well. I think.
I can certainly try, yes.
All right. If that's the case, then I think. How about I'll go with Warwick, outriding. We'll have Burlock driving, you navigating Reservoir, and then we'll have our last just looking around for us, since she is a little bit indisposed.
So, scouting.
Yeah.
Are you going at a fast, medium, or slow pace?
I would
But
say
how are
medium
you-
to begin with.
Are you
Yeah.
taking your time? Medium, okay. So, medium basically means, if you can't be stealthy while you're going at a medium pace. You're just going flat out. You're not bothering to hide yourself. You're just going. So, you can't stealth while going medium, or fast.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Got into the journal.
I've quickly read up on these rules as well, but it's still new to me, so just bear with me.
Will, if
as
you're
I-
with me outriding, what are you doing? Are you doing, scavenging or whatever?
I can basically probably. I mean, the biggest thing would be if you're doing outriding and you're driving, I could just basically be a scout, basically pathfinding and stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm doing that because it takes, because I can do perception. That's why I'm doing the outriding.
Yeah, but we're not going to leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's the biggest thing.
Essentially doing sentinel in the one vehicle. That's either way. So yep, good. Let's do it. Do
Okay.
any checks that's needed. So you
Well-
don't have to bury ourselves.
I'll also show you this one actually, which shows you like the different travel paces you can choose from.
But either way.
Now, for your information, I do have aspect of the beast wolf, which I can move stealthily or traveling. I think that's really on foot, not on vehicle, though.
Yeah, I would say there will be opportunities to be on foot as well. So exactly, because now introducing things like this, these abilities actually start to work. You can actually use these abilities, which is
So advance will cover your tracks.
Reservoir, can we do you have message? Perhaps. Actually, do I have message?
I do. So I can cast that so long as you maintain a distance of up less than or up to 120 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. Do I have message? Because I might also have message as well. Because if I have message, I can be just a scout and I could just send
pass on
The
messages.
Genasi are just like, we can talk to each
We
other.
can talk to each other.
I'm telling
Maybe.
you.
Let me see.
I can just do the ceremony and we can like lock it all up.
Oh, I do. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna switch out one of my cantrips for message. Let's see. Using my little gun. So
Your little friend.
I'm gonna change.
First use of an item.
So I'm gonna.
swapping out cantrips.
Yep. I'm gonna change one of my abilities for message. So
So
since
that-
we both
that
have
way-
message,
That way,
I can-
if we're both out on the bike, you can communicate back what we see.
exactly.
Lot better for it. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm basically reporting. I'm the reporter. So yep. Seems good.
I think that's all done. I think we're all ready.
Okay.
And with that
So-
aspect of being able to move
Yep.
all stealthy,
With that, Karsh, I would like you to roll a survival check.
okay, why am I doing survival?
Because you're scouting.
I thought
Okay.
scouting was perception, which is why I put perception there.
You're navigating though, aren't you? Who's driving?
No, I'm
Oh,
navigating. MLP is driving. Karsh
Right, okay.
is doing the
The
advanced
outrighting
school
Sentinel.
outrider for Sentinel.
Outrighting.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And-
I
That's- yep.
heard like I assumed.
Yep.
So,
And
Reservoir.
Will, you're reporting, right?
I'm basically scouting with Warwick out there, basically.
Reservoir. Could you make a survival check?
Sorry
But
for
you're
those
taking
watching,
the
we're just
reporting,
learning a
which
new
gives
system.
the advantage on nav.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you would have advantage.
Oh gosh, it's survival.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think next
gosh,
time I
wish
survival because I have a 9.
that it was intelligence. Yeah, I got a 1.
Yeah.
So I got an 11.
So you start to drive.
I
And
thought this would be intelligence based.
You start to drive, and you feel like you're heading in a pretty dead straight line. Keeping your eye back on the map, could I have someone roll a d10 for me? If I make it Reservoir, because you're the navigator.
Yeah. 5.
Okay.
So we won't find out if high or low is good.
Okay.
Dead in the middle.
As you're driving along, you start to kick up the sand and the dense sort of like almost obsidian like glass shards that make up the sand of this plain. And it's pretty smooth going, although by the end of, and you're fairly certain you're keeping a straight line, you're heading in the right path. All right. And then, so make another navigation check. And anyone who wants to keep going,
Do I still have advantage?
so that was one. So this is now 4 hours later. You can make another check. If someone else makes their action to look out. Okay,
Well-
roll a d10.
You want us to do our perceptions?
10.
That's my sentinel.
Okay. The environment starts to get more hilly. You start to So the rolling plains of sand and ash start to give way to larger hills of dark and blackened obsidian, jagged spikes and spires that poke up out of the ground. You feel like
Right. We might be going in the wrong direction. We're either right or very wrong. Can I look at the map and try and find if there are any spires?
Yeah. Make another survival check.
Do I have advantage on this one or no?
No, this is a straight one. 11. You're not sure. You think you're going in the right way. You're not sure.
Yeah, I mean there are spires that.
And what are our sentinels doing?
Yeah, so every 4 hours that passes, everyone can sort of use one of these actions to kind of help the navigation or scavenge for food or all these other things. So don't forget, if you think your efforts can help, I will also say, because I would say you would have left early in the morning. Now you'll probably have one more before it's looking to start getting late in the night.
As I'm driving, if I understand that we're getting close to night, could I make an active search to find somewhere to pull over for the night?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So what would you like me to roll for that? Survival
Check.
or perception?
If that's what's getting communicated, we can look for that too. That's what we're out there for.
Yep.
So, do you want advantage on yours, or do you want 2 separates?
17. No, do 2 separates.
Perception. You kind of keep an eye out, and you do see a few of the larger craggy hills look to have like little alcoves and shelters in them, which you feel you could huddle up in. So you do see there could be somewhere to bed down for the night, but and yeah, you're so
That's my
so
assistance.
you can make one more navigation check.
That's my assistance in trying to find a place.
Oh well, that you don't need to do that. It's found. That's done. But you can if you're being a sentinel, then another 9.
So bad at this.
Roll a d10.
Again, 5.
Can we know what 5 is? I'm okay with 5. 5 is nothing.
We don't know if 5 is always the same.
I know, but we didn't get murdered last time.
Yeah, I would assume that currently, as like I'm with Warwick on the cycle, currently we're just both sentineling right now. We're just being like the little ahead group, because I'm reading it and it says scouting is separate from being a sentinel, because if you scout, you're going like way ahead.
Yeah, so scouting, essentially when you're scouting, you'd be taking the bike, which is a little bit faster, and you could then use that extra speed to look ahead, give reports, try and like ascertain different locations to help with the navigation. Whereas a sentinel, you're sticking with the group and keeping an eye out for danger.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we default sentineling unless we have to scout, because if we're getting close to the place especially, then we can start scouting.
Okay, so yeah. Alice, so if you want to say like assume I'm sentineling until I say I'm doing something else, then that's fine as well.
Okay.
So it has now been 12 hours and it's starting to get pretty late and tired. Keeping an eye out, you find a place to bed down for the night, but you're pretty disorientated. You've driven for a long time, and you've passed through hills and plains and blasted rocks. The hills are behind you now, and you're back on those vast empty plains of coarse and jagged sand. And you find a place to hunker down as you're starting to get a little tired.
Are there any like large landscaping features or anything that might?
The difficulty is that the atmosphere here is so dense, and the smog is really kind of because it's so thick with ash and dust, it's hard to see in the distance at all. So
I don't.
You did. There were times back when you were traveling earlier where it cleared up a bit, and you could see for a little further out. But at the moment, it's that usual blanketed smog. I mean, you can see for a good. You can see for a good while around you.
I mean, here's my concern. There aren't any hills between the tower and the statue, unless you count the hills like near the statue. So we passed
make another survival check.
Oh
Can I
god!
assist with that one? If we're stopped?
At the end. So at the end of this last 4 hours, make a survival check.
Can I be pointing this out to MLP?
Yeah.
Can I give
all
him
means.
advantage instead of the other way around?
Yeah, okay, we'll do it that way.
Sure. Yeah. 25.
Much better.
There's a difference.
You're lost. You're not. You've gotten yourselves lost. You have no idea. You're definitely not where you intended to go.
Is-
You veered off course quite significantly.
Can I take the map out of Reservoir's hands and turn it the right way up?
No,
all right.
because then we would have run into the. I'm so.
All right.
It's not upside down. It's on the back. You're looking at stains. It's on the other side.
All right. I'm navigating from now on. You can go.
Please.
You can go with Warwick now. You could just go out there.
What's your survival level?
It is +1, but I have Flash of Genius to help me.
Yet MLP's got...
I was like, it's the exact same will.
I have a +9 in survival. I think
How
I
about
should do
we-
navigation.
Yes.
So how are you proceeding from here? I will say,
We need to rest.
counting. You don't have to watch if you don't have to rest if you want. You can keep going without resting if you want to. I'm just saying, it's been 12. It's been 12 hours,
On the
and
road.
plus we'll say the original 4 from, chatting with Mordenkainen. We'll say that was the first watch of the day.
I
Do
would.
we terribly
We can
need
switch around.
someone on the bike? Like,
We'll have-
what?
Well, we will switch around. I will drive. You can navigate Burlock, and then since Warwick wants to be on the bike so much, you could just accompany
Well-
him, Reservoir.
I got the best eyes of the group, so
No, you don't.
Oh,
We can watch from
yes, you can.
the war machine. We don't need to go out on the bike. All that does is serve to put us further apart.
but it should give us a little bit more reaction. It gives us a little bit, just that little bit extra warning that there's something amiss.
All right.
The only other way of doing it is putting a massive tower on top of or masks on top of the war machine, so we can get some distance and look over the horizon.
I'm sorry, did you say putting a massive cow on
No,
top
a
of the
tower,
war
a
machine?
mast.
Oh, okay.
Like they do on
I
ships.
just imagine.
It's like,
Don't you know why they put the watchman on the top of the ship so they can see further? That's
I
I
know
just
that.
same
imagine
thing
a
as having it in that
tormentor
way.
with a massive cow on it. You see this Doppler of moo.
just,
Look, it's raining beef.
I have a question for the Sentinel one. I'm looking at it. You can be a Sentinel without being a head, right? Because this is that it only comes to effect when there's an encounter generated. So can a Sentinel call to go out first once the encounter is generated, or is it that they have to be a head always? Because a scout looks like it has to be a head always.
So the scout has to be ahead always. The sentinel
Yeah.
is sticking with the group.
But it's close, but it's sticking with
Yeah.
it.
So it's as if that we're all together, anyways. Then basically. Okay.
But in order to get that advantage on navigation, you have to go out with the
By
let's assume
yourself.
you'll go out and come back,
Yeah.
come back, because you have to be faster than everyone else to do it. Which with the bike you are, so.
I see. Okay, I mean, we don't even all of us don't have to do everything. We can just stay together for now, and the bike you can just ride around if you want. Yeah. But scouting, if anyone goes scouting, it's a group of 2 always. But you can ride yourself, and then I guess we can switch off driving. I guess, because I can drive. And then we'll just have Burlock navigating.
Please. This is navigating the plains of Avernus is not nerd friendly.
True. Yeah.
Navigating a
Reservoir, do you want
cataract.
to try to forage for food?
No, I don't think I'd be any better at that.
I have a question, DM.
Yep.
So I have a feat called Keen Mind, and one of
Yes.
the abilities is you always know which way is north. With all this stuff that we have now, would I know where this word would be?
No.
No.
Because keen mind. It is the thing with keen mind is how I picture it.
Like
Is
the
that
stars, right?
the stars. Like you remember like landmarks as being like, oh, I know, this gate in the city was facing north, and we're facing this direction from where that gate was, so I remember north is that way. Doesn't really apply in Avernus. However, what I will say is I will give you advantage on, you can easily backtrack with that. Like with Keen Mind, you can easily sort of, normally there's a check to backtrack, but you won't need to do that.
You can easily fix my mistakes.
Yes.
12 hours of mistakes, yes.
So,
look, I wasn't confident for any of that.
Okay. So, are we resting?
I think we can still go on. I think we can at least make our way backwards, especially for trying to find what we've seen before.
It's another 12 hours, or sorry, 6 hours. 8
And
hours.
let's rest. Let's rest right now then, and then we can go backwards.
All right. Are we doing watches, or are we just going to wrap it up for sake of speed? We're just going to keep it going.
Well, we're gonna still have to do a watch for a rest if you do a rest with the tiny hut and.
Yeah, I'll cast the dome.
okay. So.
Take first watch.
Right. So first watch is going to be Burlock.
I'll take second.
Okay, and then Warwick does a second watch. Okay, let's rest for 2 4-hour periods then, so we get a full rest.
So I will say, when you did say you were searching for a place to rest, you were in different terrain, and then you kept going. So you're like, there's a place, and then you just kept driving, and now you're out of the mountains into the plains. So you're kind of a bit out in the open right now. There's little places
Shall we go back
to shelter
4 hours and try to find it?
I think so, yeah. We
Yeah,
should
let's
go
go
back,
back.
please. Let's go back.
Turn around. Go back. Follow our tracks.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of find yourself, let's rest here, and you look around, and it's just like barren desert with like endless line of sight as far as you can see. And you're like, maybe not.
No.
Let's go. Turn around. Go back.
Okay. So, make a survival check with advantage to trace your steps back the way you came.
All right. Would that be me or Will?
Whoever
think
wants to.
I'll just be the one giving advantage, I
Essentially,
think.
you're doing the tracking watch action.
Okay. So I'll roll survival then.
13.
With advantage.
Or 21. Well, Will has advantage because of Keen Mind.
Ah, okay. I thought
Oh, I
like,
see.
Will was giving me advantage.
Can I assist, or is that something that I
If
would
you
have
want,
to be
you
doing?
can do that and to get the 21, yeah. Oh, you
Yep,
can
cool.
do that.
Okay.
We're just
Alright.
getting back to where we were originally, so we can actually take our rest.
Okay, so. And with that, you kind of turn the thing around, and it's actually not difficult because the spiked wheels of your vehicle has left very clear marks in the sand. And you keep driving back and find yourself once more approaching those hills, the large rolling hills with the spires of obsidian jagging out of the ground. That was the wrong dice. That was cocked. And okay. And yeah, you now find yourself once again in a bit more of a sheltered area. But it's now been 16 hours you've been
Let's get some
since
sleep.
last sleeping.
I'm good with sleeping.
So, make camp do...
Find that place if we can. If you want
Make
me to
camp.
do a spot, I can do it. Perception. Or someone else can do a better perception. And we'll make camp.
Okay. As you settle down to camp, could someone roll a d12 for me?
Done.
I'll do it. Oh, okay.
10. You're starting to get your camp set up, and something you feel there's a dripping sound. And at first you're taken aback. Rain, of all things. But then it starts to sting. Reservoir, by the way, you're completely fine. But
Lovely.
as it starts to, as an acid rain starts to pass by, and I assume you're all conjuring up the dome.
Yeah, I would be doing that. Yeah.
In which case, you all kind of rush under cover of the dome as the rain just starts raining down and it starts building up, as now you're just caught in the middle of this downpour of acidic rain. I would still like everyone. So everyone takes 5 points of acid damage, except Reservoir, who takes 2. Because you're resistant.
Yep.
But now you're undercover, and you're kind of sheltered from it.
Oh. Didn't think we'll
But
see
just
rain down here.
in that initial hour, as you were driving into the hills and it started to rain, also your vehicle takes 5 points of acid damage.
Not the vehicle. No.
I'll try and get as much of it in the dome as possible, but it's not a lot.
What happens if you cast the dome on the vehicle? Does the dome travel with the vehicle, or does it stay where it's cast?
Nope.
Damn it.
It's a great way of smashing a vehicle. Put it
It
dome in front of a
stays-
vehicle.
Yeah, it stays where it's cast. Well, the vehicle would be able to go through the dome. It stays where it's. Oh God, my internet.
Yeah.
Either way.
Either way, I'll take first watch,
Okay.
and I just...
Perception with disadvantage because of the pouring rain.
Okay.
And now the clouds have started to like really sort of get in heavy. The usual pervasive light is greatly diminished.
We do have a
as it seems
D12
like a thundercloud
from last
overhead.
episode if you want to use that.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Is
I probably should move that into the...
so we're fine in the dome, but the dome can't cover the vehicle.
No, it's not big enough for the vehicle as well.
Okay. Oh, there she
Oh,
goes.
Dell's gone.
and I think we should take a break.
I
No, she's
Oh
coming
no,
back.
she's back.
I'm so sorry. When we break, I'll see if I can figure out what is going on with it. But it's just not being very cooperative today.
All right.
All right.
So first watch is
End of-
done.
First watch is done.
Second watch for me. Perception. Oh, you want disadvantage?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. You
You couldn't do much worse.
don't see anything anyway. But mercifully, the rain does start to abate somewhat. And by the time you've all had your rest, the rain has lifted, and you've managed to avoid the worst of its effects. Driving for hours in that would have sucked. Particularly as someone has to be on top to man the vehicle,
Yeah,
and there's no
no.
shelter on top.
Ash, do the vehicles need any repairs? Or are they going to be
Yeah. I'll just patch up a few things, if anything. Yeah, I'm gonna go walk over to the vehicles and using mending, just gonna see if there's any spots I can repair. See, I believe there's a rule for that.
It would be, I would call this a smith's tools check, because mending is
Okay.
limited to small items.
Yes, I believe so.
I think I remember that.
It's
As
just
long as the break or tear is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a break or a tear. It's just all over damage. So
okay.
you can smith's tools check.
Smith's tools attribute intelligence.
Okay.
32. Yeah.
But you can undo that damage that it received, both the bike and the scavenger.
Yes. I take out a bottle of wax and I also wax it. Okay. All right, we're good.
They look very shiny.
And
We're good.
So we get back to full hit points, and we're back.
That's so
We
you
regain
successfully complete a
our-
long rest.
Yep, cool.
I will cast Magic Aura on Lulu first thing in the morning.
And let's go off again. Let's see if we can find the right direction.
Let's go back at least for a
I'm
little
navigating
bit.
this time
So-
on the thing.
Where are you trying to go? So
Being in
Is
the map.
that the holy water place?
We
That's the
think
thing.
that's the holy water
I
Yeah.
I
we-
think
you're
because
currently in the middle. You're currently in
somewhere.
a large sort of series of hilly terrain.
Oh, everyone
go
else thinks
past
so.
it?
So let's head.
That's
let's
the
head
large
back.
series of hilly terrain past it.
There's also a lot of hills over here.
Unless we went to the north.
Bunch of hills over
Like
here.
distal.
Yeah, let's head backwards, I guess, because we need to find our bearings. I think.
You want to keep following the trail you left.
I think so
Yeah.
because
Go back to the tower, restart. Because we don't have bearings. That's all it is.
I'll say the rain has probably washed your tracks fairly clear as well. So you're going to have to be going off terrain now, which will, I think, will go back to a straight up navigation check.
Okay.
So who is navigating?
That would be me.
All right, survival check. And anyone else doing anything to help out?
I will provide moral support that they cannot do
You
worse
can
than
try-
I
you
can.
try to help, which then gives advantage
And I'm assuming a normal pace.
at a normal
Yes.
pace.
Normal pace.
I'm doing the sentinel again, just in case, keeping an eye out.
Okay. So do I get with Dell's help? Do I get advantage?
If Del
If
wants
moral-
to scout ahead, then yes. If not,
No.
from
All right.
from just straight where you are, no.
Okay, then I'll just do
But to get
survival.
advantage, someone needs to take the bike and scout ahead.
Okay.
Which Ava's happy to do, by the way.
I know
Yes!
she is. Oh my god. We have
Ava?
a D12. Please use it.
A D12 doesn't help a natural 1.
No, you know what? We'll let it ride. We'll go for the
Yeah.
one.
We're going straight
No.
into the abyss. Straight
This
into
makes
the
me
abyss.
feel better because I
Yes.
was like, you can't possibly do worse.
Rolls dice.
You're rolling around these hills, and the path you're forced to take to you could sort of brute force over the hills, but it's easy to go between them, particularly as they kind of rise up and around you in some places. You can't really go in a straight line, which makes it take a little while longer. You're still stuck in these hills, and you're not sure. Make another check as 4 hours pass. Oh, by the way, everyone write off a ration as well, because you spent the night to rest. And water.
How much did we start with, actually? Because I'm not going to keep track.
I'm going to, for the purposes of this, I'm going to
We're
assume
going to start
that
having them.
by the time you'd arrived at Mordenkainen's and gone through the dungeon and everything before, you'd gone through your existing rations, and what Kashara gave you is a fresh start.
Well,
Just to make
how
it
much?
easier, because we weren't keeping track of it. So
Okay,
everyone
sounds
has a week's worth. Now you're down to 6.
So 7-day week. So
That includes water as well. A week's worth of water and a week's worth of food.
Well, I can make us water.
All right.
Okay. Still, this place is a maze. Should we start relying on the power of belief again? Because these compasses don't work.
it was working better, actually.
Power of belief? I believe so too.
26 survival.
26. All right. You power through, and finally you find yourself clear of those hills. Going back the way you came, you see that rolling landscape appear once again. And it's a more familiar, it's slightly more familiar kind of landscape. There's less. It feels like you're probably on the right track now.
Hey.
And I think the next one we're going to have to try to look for a place to stay as well, because that'll be our 3rd day.
Would you like to go ahead and scout for that then?
I don't think scouting is
It'll be
safe.
12 hours that
Are you-
we'll travel to 3. We could probably go for 16.
Okay, we'll do this one. Try to get where we're going.
Alright. So from here, you're out of the hills. You turn left, right, or keep straight going.
Keep straight going.
Straight going? Okay.
Yep.
Roll navigation. $25. You continue on straight. And eventually you find the heat starts to rise gradually as you come across fields of fire. Just occasionally burning embers rise around you, flash up here and there, as suddenly the temperature starts to really increase and you find yourself surrounded by flames on all sides. Not drastic enough to warrant anything, to hurt you. Occasionally off in the distance you'll see a gout of fire rise up into the sky, which causes a bit of concern. But for the time being, you're kind of safe in your vehicle, but it is hot and there is fire all around you, just simmering and burning through the dust and through the sand.
Yeah, no, this is not good.
I think we're not where we need to be.
Maybe we should just go to the bazaar. We have all we need for that is to follow a coin.
Let's get out of here. Rest. Not in the fire. I understand, Ash. This might be nice, but for others,
I mean, I can still burn to death in magma, so I don't think, doesn't help. Yeah, let's just find the bazaar. Let's find a place where we can get our bearings or something like that. Let's find information.
we've been traveling all
What
day.
you do see,
We need
however,
to.
I will also
Oh.
point out that sort of slightly right of your direction of travel, you see mountains in the distance.
Yeah, man.
Like these mountains? All the way counter disward?
You could assume so, yeah.
Yeah.
R-
So
Just through the dust and through the fire, you see rising high up in the sky, large enough to be seen even through the choking smog, mountains in the distance.
we are here.
We have gone way, way, way past from where we are. It looks like we've gone counter disward.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We all don't know where we're going. So
New navigation system, who dis?
new
Power
navigation
of belief was genuinely working better.
was, but now
Only because it was literally, yeah, you get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we pull out the map and we start discussing. We need to discuss where we're going. So we are currently here. The big red pin, we are here. So that
But
we
for
are trying
those,
to get
those watching, we are. This is where we left. This is where we're aiming, and we are here.
One thing you do recall is that the statue was located in a mountainous region.
I mean,
Well, we're not going to rest
I
here,
didn't-
so
we didn't
I-
even see those weird brain things.
the thing is, they travel.
Oh, that's fair.
If we think it's mountains, I would check with the rest of the crew and say, well, if the statue was near mountains, let's go to the mountains. Hopefully, it's not going to be any worse than what this is.
We've only got another 4 hours to travel today before we have to get some sleep. We
I
have to
mean,
stop and rest.
mountains are a safer place to rest, probably.
Let's head towards the mountains and
All right.
away from the flames, maybe.
Yep. At least these vehicles don't have rubber tires or wooden tires.
Yeah, sure. Is there a way for me to see? Can I see the river Styx from where we are, or no?
You can't know. Again, just the only reason you can see the mountains from where you are is because of their size. Anything that would be on a ground level is obscured by the atmosphere of this place.
Okay.
All right.
So,
23 for
I'm
survival.
assuming you're turning towards the mountains.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Oh. And you with them set firmly in your sight, it's hard to go wrong. But it is a winding path through these fields of fire. You're close to reaching them, but it's just trying to avoid and slow down and like navigate through the dangerous parts of this place. It's taking a little bit longer. So you're gonna have to perhaps drive a little bit later before sleeping to get out of the fire.
If that's the case, then I would just, whoever is driving and navigating the rest, I would suggest probably takes a rest on the vehicle so they don't get exhaustion.
I'll pull in the bike as well, so I need some rest as well. Because I'm assuming I'm going to be doing watch later.
So we're just gonna switch off a couple of people from driving and
Yeah.
navigating. We're still gonna make our way towards the mountains then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't make the mountains yet, and we're not going to rest in Field of Fire.
No.
We don't have any marshmallows, so yeah.
There's no Hershey's chocolate around. So all right, let's go and try to. So Warwick and Burlock are going to be resting. Then
No, I'm navigating.
you're navigating. So Burlock is resting. No, so Warwick is resting, and then we'll have Ava to rest, I guess, because she can also navigate too. I think. And
I
then
haven't
Either
seen the
way.
sheet, but either way, I just need to rest the bike.
okay,
Let's keep it moving.
let's go.
Survival check as you continue to navigate. 18. And you press on forwards. And as you do, the heat really starts to get to you in this last leg of the journey. And you're pushing forward, and the heat just rises and rises and rises to almost become suffocating. I need everyone, except for Ashe, to make 4 Constitution saving throws. Warwick with disadvantage on all of them for the 4 hours of journey. Yep, because you're wearing heavy armor, and that really does not help with the heat. Despite that, you're in the belly of this machine, and your armor is just absorbing the heat.
If I take it off after the first one, can I do the other ones without them?
Okay.
Said 4.
Yeah. So, Reservoir, you're fine.
Cool. Oh. This-
And amazingly, you're fine as well, Warwick. Burlock is fine, and I'll roll for Ava, who at this point the effects of the resurrection fatigue have worn off.
Oh, that's good at least.
Where's Ava gone?
They had a similar mechanic with Waterdeep Dragon Heist in the summer. There was a third party one which had summer heat and weather conditions. On the upside, with me on the vehicle, everyone gets the +3.
Yeah, so I would have had +3
So
to all those.
ignore that
saves.
last one.
Otherwise, nobody would have gotten it.
Okay, and Ava doesn't suffer as well. And finally, you find yourselves outside of the fields of fire as they sort of disappear behind you, and you are now at the foothills of these great mountains. But the heat isn't dissipating. It's still burning hot. For now.
Mistakes were made.
Actually, no. It does start to dissipate.
Mistakes are made from the DM.
Taking off the armor, stowing that away.
Because I forget, the check is the beginning of the watch, and I rolled to see if it would end, and it did.
Taking off the armor, stowing it away.
All right. You doff the armor, and at the foot of these mountains, Are you taking a rest here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe
We've been driving.
so.
That was our 4th check, so we need to rest.
Yes. I mean, we've gone quite far, to be honest. I didn't expect us to go this far if we know where we are. Let's take a rest here and let's do our best. I think first thing in the morning, though, shall we, looking up at the mountains, do they seem traversable on foot or no?
They
Like
do.
going up.
Yeah, they seem definitely traversable on foot. Vehicle, maybe not so much. It
Is
could
there-
go by vehicle, but it'd be very slow going. You're not guaranteed
Yeah.
of. It's lots of narrow pathways and steep climbs, and you reckon your vehicle is more meant for the plains.
Is there a the reason why is because is there like a smaller mountain all of them? Because I think we can do some sighting actually to get to the top of it and see if we can do some looking around. Would that help at all, or would that just be a
Certainly.
moot
yeah, if you want
point?
to.
Well,
Okay.
we need to rest first, so
Yes.
let's get that over,
Certainly try.
over
Yep.
and done
Alright.
with. I will do first watch.
Okay.
Burlock
perception
just
check.
crashes.
That's why I kept back on that last part. Perception, first watch.
I've been
There you go.
rolling. I've
Actively.
been consistently rolling that you don't encounter, like, have any random encounters. So
Fantastic. We don't have
it's
to do the rolls for watch.
Just
let's move on.
ideal.
yeah. So it's literally just wandering around and you're seeing there's little activity. You're just kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
And second watch.
Who's
I
doing
mean-
second watch?
I can, considering I'm not going to be great at it, but
rolls
I
not disappointed.
can. Oh, it's 17. Not terrible.
Well, you're not navigating. You're not driving. You're not scouting.
Look, I am just making sure that no one dispels my tiny hut again. That is my only motivation.
Not even foraging.
I'm not good at those. Look, I'm smart, but I have no wisdom.
Is your wisdom?
I'm smart, but I make very bad decisions.
Okay, good
The
point.
day breaks, or what passes for it, and you all wake. And miraculously this morning, among the first time since you've been here, perhaps it's a combination of that heat and that rain, but the smog has lifted somewhat, and you can see for miles. And it's disorientating as first, because where you would expect to see a horizon, it just keeps going. And anyone who wants to make an intelligence check, or a religion if you want to.
Ooh, those are both the same.
Just flat intelligence, right?
Or religion if you're proficient.
I am not proficient in that.
Oh,
20,
okay, intelligence.
24.
I use Flash of Genius to
Ashe.
give me 29.
Ashe. Well, with that, it's suddenly something clicks. The world you've lived on, the material plane, is a sphere, but Avernus is an infinitely flat plane, so there is no horizon. And that, you realize now, were it not for the atmosphere, if the atmosphere were gone and it was 100% perfectly clear, you could see forever in the distance, because there's no horizon. And that kind of, seeing this now, it kind of disorients you a bit. It's a little bit, it's strange to look at. But from where you are, you can see surrounding you in an arc the mountains behind you, and looking forward, you just see fire. The fields of fire surround your view, going outwards. You've kind of made your way through them into the mountains, and now looking back out onto the plains of Avernus, you just see these plains of fire stretching outwards in all directions. It looks like if you want to traverse back, it's either through the mountains or through the flames. Through the fire and the flames.
The fire and the flames. This world is on fire.
But to either side of you, left and right, you see the mountains continue. Rising up for such a massively long way, like 60, 70, 80 miles to either side of you, the mountains continue.
We've made some decisions, folks.
Mistakes have been made. Let's go back through the flames and get the heck out of here. Do we see any landmarks past the flames? Anything
Also,
that we can identify as a target to get to, or that links to our map?
Make a perception check.
That's
can see. It's just I can
Can I
see
give-
why the person who made the map went crazy.
I will
I was
use
gonna
that
say, can I-
D12
Yeah.
if
Can you
I
use
no
mean-
one
12?
else is.
Oh, I'll do it.
In theory, we could go
you can-
along the mountains.
Yeah, could we? Yeah, would we be able to skirt the mountain? Anyways, just go ahead with the rules.
Yes, if we go along the mountains, we're not going to have. We're going to be walking. We need to go through the fire if we're going to keep war wagons.
No, I'm not saying go through the mountains. I'm saying like wherever the mountains start, we just sort of track along the edge.
That could get hazy.
Then
if the
again-
mountains come out.
I know nothing about navigation, as has been proven.
As long as we keep them to one side, it's just picking the right side.
Now, with that perception, did I spot anything interesting?
So, in the mountains. So, you're looking specifically over the fields of fire?
I was just really looking generically around, seeing if there's any. First off, is the statue we're trying to find anywhere near here? If not, I'll be doing just a general search around, trying to figure out the best way to get to where we want to go.
You do see something.
Oh.
In one of the fields, like so, looking out, disward, as it were, and slightly to your right, you spot in the distance what looks to be a colossal spear sticking out of the ground, like enormous, like the spear of a titan, embedded itself in the earth midway through these fields. And that is one thing that catches your eye.
Does it look like that thing on the map, or that thing on the map?
It looks like the second thing you mentioned.
Oh, so this one in the middle.
The one in the middle. Okay.
Well, this is the place to get bearings from.
Exactly. That's what we're looking for. Just any place for bearings that we can use to navigate away from this place.
Going back through fire then.
Any other, I think it's the only way to do it.
Yep.
I mean, it is at least good that we got our bearings around the map, and from here, it's a good starting point to where we need to go. So we are going to the bazaar, right?
It seems like that would probably be the easiest. We just have to put a coin on the ground and follow it. I don't
Yes.
think even I could mess that up. I'm really hoping even I couldn't mess that up.
Let's find the bazaar. Let's find some sort of life form. Even a demon would be nice.
From
Because
memory, the coin is quite
nothing.
slow in movement, so we might want to get out of here first,
Yes.
Yeah,
I
get
agree.
out of the fire and then
then slowly
hope that it
follow.
doesn't take us back into the fire.
Yes.
Well, we are in Avernus, and Avernus is full of
Fire.
hellfire, so
Yeah.
I think. How far away is that giant spear?
Looks
Distance
to
is
be a
weird.
good. It looks to be well. Not anymore. It's not. Here's the thing. It looks to be a good 60 miles away, 60, 70 or so.
It's still in the field of fire, right?
Yeah.
Let's head the opposite way of that spear.
if we've got a landmark, we should go towards the landmark. Then we can drive where we need to go from there.
Yes, but then we've got no point of reference.
No,
we
if
have
we
a landmark and use that landmark. Say if that landmark is always on our right hand side, we know which way we're going. If we
Yes.
go directly to it, then we don't know where we're going from there unless we've got another landmark.
Also, if this map is accurate, if you head to the spear, there's only a river next to it, and there's more mountains with fire. So opposite is where we need to go, right? And then once we hit the
We're
lava
gonna go
lake,
left, not right.
left, yes.
So yeah, left, not right.
So if it's always on our right, and if we keep it always on our right, we know that we're going in the direction that we need to go.
Exactly.
Let's just get out of here.
Let's do it.
Do we mark off 2 rations of water since we're in fire, or is it still 1?
No, just the one. Just the
Okay.
one.
And in this area, I am not going to be wearing my heavy armor.
Okay, so
You
I'm
set
navigating
off.
again.
And as you start to set off,
Mhm.
you're driving along, and Warwick, you take off your helmet, and suddenly, crack! You clutch your head, and there's a little bit of, and then suddenly, and you look up, and it is starting to rain rock from the heavens as small stones and meteors start tumbling out of the sky and start to batter you and the vehicles.
What,
do you all do?
Lorian, are you just going through all the elements? Is it going to be air next?
I rolled for it.
I've got to get the helmet back on and quickly get the bike into the vehicle. Into the wall
Then
wagon.
maybe, as much as I hate to say, it's maybe fast travel for this one.
Yeah, fast travel. Let's get out of here, actually. I think we should be fast traveling first of all, yeah.
Okay.
Let's get out of here as fast as possible.
Cannot use stealth
Is
checks.
anyone taking shelter?
I
who's
will
driving?
help navigate if it
Who
helps.
isn't taking shelter?
That's the only
in
thing.
the body of the vehicle.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I don't know if this vehicle has a body because that was the
Doesn't.
that was the demon grinder
Doesn't.
that had an internal. Let me just double check. Demon grinder.
Do we have any
the
spare
demon grinder
shields?
has.
It doesn't have a. Doesn't
Actually,
have one.
I have a spare.
It's got a hook for the
Yeah.
for the buggy or for the bike, but it doesn't have an undercover.
Yes, I have a spare shield.
Yeah.
If anyone needs it,
Yeah,
otherwise
cargo
I'll use it.
capacity. The demon grinder has cargo capacity 1 ton, so that has a hold that
This
you can
doesn't.
take shelter in, but the scavenger doesn't.
So whoever needs a shield can
Yes.
take cover from that. But otherwise we're all exposed.
I would say that whoever's driving is somewhat sheltered because you're in you've got like a bit of a cover, but everyone else who's kind of like hanging on the outside is you're going to be, unless you find somewhere to ride out the storm, perhaps. But if you keep driving, very few of you are going to be sheltered.
Yeah. And this is not a place where we can just stop and hide underneath the vehicle and there's fire, everybody. So let's just
I
get
can
out of here
put up-
fast.
I can put up the dome and it will be cool inside the dome.
We still need to get out of here.
But yeah, that doesn't protect the vehicle.
No, we still need to get out of here.
Protects us.
Let's get out
Could
of
I
here.
get con saves from everyone except whoever's driving, and whoever's using the shield, with advantage.
I'll give the shield to Dell.
Thank you.
Reservoir with advantage. Whoever's driving doesn't need to make the check. Everyone else con save.
And we all get the aura of protection, correct?
Which is why I'm coming back to the vehicle.
you're all kind of close enough. That's fine.
I'm learning to come back to the vehicle. To help with that.
How many? 3?
No, just the
4.
one.
Oh,
Just
okay,
one?
it's the
Okay.
top one. 20 for me. Oh, 20 for
You're
Scott.
driving though.
No,
You
I'm
got
not-
cover.
Yeah.
Wait, who's driving?
Who is driving?
That's important
That's
because we
what
all
I'm-
rolled. So we were
That's what
all
I'm
like, not me.
Oof.
What- Are you going to decide?
Well, navigation's Burlock. That's the main thing.
So I'll say the driver can navigate.
Then Burlock done.
All right.
So, Ava is struggling against the stones. She's not weathering it nearly as well as the rest of you, and she takes 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
As she's battered by these things. And Burlock,
Ava.
make a navigation check with disadvantage. Survival.
Okay. And is this also, since moving at fast pace, is also a -5 for navigation check?
I'll take that. I'll take that 12 damage from Ava. With my ability to shift.
That's for like an attack. This is a sustained thing
Worth
of
a try.
barrage over the course of 4 hours. That's not how that
Okay,
works.
I will cover Ava's body with my own to take the damage if it seems to be hurting her too much.
And that is with disadvantage, by the way. So I rolled 13 on both dice.
I don't think I can't. That's not. I'm not gonna let that fly. That's not. You know, you made the rolls, and your protection didn't help.
Yeah.
So you're skirting along the mountains?
Let's go on the mountains.
Yeah.
Traveling at fast pace.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is,
So-
according to that, is -5 to navigation check.
So that is a 17, which is enough. So you make your way through, continuing through the mountains, and the barrage of stones isn't abating yet. As you press on forwards, and you feel like you're making progress, and of note, the fields of fire start to disappear behind you. And you see now more sort of, the mountains start to surround you, and you only see a little bit of fire remaining. And now for the next 4 hours, make another check and another round of con saves for everyone, unless if you're pressing forward.
Are we?
Uh,
So it's not out of the rocks yet?
No, you're not out of the rocks yet.
Okay.
So 2 things for the record. I would pass the shield to Ava, and also at the start of the day, I would have cast Magic Aura on Lulu again.
If you don't, I'm assuming that's going to be the case every time.
Yes.
And let
Okay,
me check
I'll
for
roll.
something.
Con check first.
Okay. And Ava. Warwick, you start to. I actually also need to check something. Yeah, Warwick, you start to feel. You begin to regret taking off your armor as you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage as the rocks pelt you and hammer you, and you're thinking, "Oh, I should have put it back on." Ava, meanwhile, with the shield, is not going to be enough. Takes another 13. So that was, she took 12 the first, 13 the second. So she's down 15.
Oh.
Down 25.
That's right, 25.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you said 15.
I did.
Bring
Ah.
that back
She's
to
taken
full
taken
as
a battering.
I do 25 points of lay on hands for her.
Okay, you heal her back up.
We've got to get out of this. What do we call this? A hailstorm? It's not a hail. What is this?
Meteor storm?
Sounds like a spell of some kind. Let's get out of here.
Can anyone
Rock
else
storm?
roll a seek or a way to get away from the rocks?
I will do that this round. This nav. If that helps.
Okay.
As
So
you're
that's my
progressing,
journey. To do seek to try to get out of
I'll
here.
say, yeah. So, again, your options are to go back the way you came, continue through the mountains, or go onto the fields of fire.
Wait, are we?
And as you are progressing, the rocks start to get worse. As now, instead of just pebbles and stones, flaming balls of fire start to rain down. Burning hot, exploding around you. You feel, if you don't, you fear what might happen if you don't take shelter.
Yeah, then I will.
Can we just stop here? When we're off the map, we're going counter Discord. Is that correct? I thought we
No.
were going along the side of the
No,
cliffs.
we're going this way.
We're along the side of the mountains, not through the mountain. Is that what?
Yeah, you're going.
Yeah.
You're going. You feel like you're going along the side because you see the
Okay.
fires
Just-
disappear. The fire fields disappearing behind you as you
Okay. So along
continue
the
onwards.
so as far as we know, having a look at the map, we're going along the bottom of the map. We're not going through the mountains.
No, we couldn't go through the
You
mountains on the
You
vehicle.
can't even. The
I'm
mountains
just checking.
to go in that direction are so
Just checking.
incredibly high. You couldn't even walk. Seems impenetrable.
Just checking. So,
Okay.
As far as we know, we're going along the bottom of the map. I've marked the map of, I think, where we are. Or we are here. But now it's seeming that we can't even go forward. We have to go back to the fire.
Let's take shelter
take
first.
shelter.
I mean, the biggest thing is that there's
There is you feel like you can press forwards.
Let's
You
take
know,
shelter.
Counter Abysswood, or Abyss. Yeah. So you're taking shelter for this
Yeah,
4 hours.
We're going to try to find a place to take
Yeah.
shelter.
Which
make
is
a
what I was
perception
going
check.
to do.
Yeah, easy enough. You find a small, craggy cave in the mountainside, and you drive your vehicle up and park it there, and wait out the 4 hours. As outside you see just pelting down. It's like fire. It's like a rain of fireballs from the sky, bursting down on the ground and exploding everywhere, raining hellfire around you. The true force and danger of Avernus made very clear as you huddle inside, avoiding a safe versus 10d6 damage. Yeah, that's nasty. It was a... And at the end of the 4 hours, the fire is gone, but the rocks are still falling. It seems to be somewhat continuous. I'm rolling really unfortunately for you.
Shall we just take a break now that we've got shelter and see if we can wait it out in the shelter? We have been traveling, maybe seeing if the vehicle needs repair.
let's try and see if this is either a one-time thing or another thing. If it doesn't disappear with the next 4 hours, we will have to forge onward, at least thisward. We have to go across anyways.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's wrap it up here for the moment. Take some time, take a break, if we're doing hex scroll, a rest action, and just wait. I will spend
So
some time.
we'll go to break.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was also me going.
Yes.
Because we're 2.5 hours in. We are learning the system. This is new to us. It's new to our GM. We've come it's
This is something that, as we get forward, it'll get faster. It'll just
Yeah.
be like, all right, next check, and we'll kind of develop it that way.
the other part
Again,
is
I've been rolling every 4 hours. I do several rolls to see if you encounter anything, and you continuously miss encounters.
the other thing.
But we're
is,
getting really bad environmental.
we
I
haven't
know,
had
it's
environmental
unfortunate.
stuff.
It's not like a glowing showcase of like, here's why hex scrolls are great. This is kind of the worst of hex scrolls, unfortunately.
We also haven't had environmental effects. We haven't had all this. We haven't needed to do all this. The Avernus campaign has been modified to be this version. But again, this is the most extreme version of it. It will get better, hopefully. It will get faster, that's for sure. But we'll take a break. We'll be back shortly. Stick around.
Okay.
And if we can get the Avernus music, we'll get that done.
Yep, sure
Back
thing.
soon. and welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. We are still lost. I don't know where the GPS is working, but we're in hell, and keeps on telling us to turn around where possible.
So it's called the Goblin Positioning System,
The Goblin positioning system.
GPS.
That's just bad.
Thank you.
That
Hero
that's,
Week, try to fish.
That's just bad. Anyway, shall we get back into it? Our lostness.
Absolutely.
And
Okay.
the world is against us.
So, 8 hours later, mercifully, towards the end of your rest, marking off another ration, the rain of stones comes to an end. And you find you kind of step outside and kind of take a bearing of your surroundings. The haze and fog has settled back in again, so that you can see the mountains around you on either side, but you can no longer see to the fields of fire as the smog settles back in. What you do, however, see, you kind of like take your bearings and look around, and up on one of the high peaks, you see a storm. A raging storm of like crackling energy and electricity raging atop one of the peaks of these mountains.
Let's not go that way.
Yep, there's air.
Yep.
Do we need to take a few moments to check the vehicle and make sure everything is fine with the vehicle?
Yeah, if I can, that'd be great.
If that's been happening, I'll do
It did take a bit of a beating, but however, it didn't take enough to warrant like significant damage, because its steel is kind of designed to like the acid was rough on it, but because of its damage threshold, it didn't take any bludgeoning.
Would people want me to start doing foraging checks? Because we're
might
down
need
to
start.
4 rations.
We might need to start, but we only have. It's either foraging or navigation. That's the issue.
Well, if we're in a semi-safe place at the moment, we can do a foraging check and then do 2 things of navigation.
That might be a good way.
If that's what Lorian would let me do a foraging check.
Yeah, if you want. So if you want to spend, so instead of journeying, you want to stay in the same and just absolutely.
I'll be nearby on the bike, like as a scout for you.
Scouting.
Or not scout,
Yep.
or protecting, like sentinel.
Yeah.
While he's foraging.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it helps,
for
but
it.
you only have to look for food because I can cover water.
Yeah.
That certainly helps.
Yes. A success forager gains 1 ration of food or finds a source of fresh water. So I'm looking for food specifically, and it's a survival
check.
And it's an additional 1 for every 2 points over the check result.
We do have a D12, which you still haven't used.
With something like this, I would actually use a D12.
Use it.
All right. Yep.
Trying to get some more rations. That ain't good. Well, let's get 1 more ration.
You scour this place, and it is striking how barren these mountains are. Rocky, craggy obsidian stone yields next to nothing in terms of edible food. You just missed it. Just missed the DC. It was 22.
Damn. Oh well.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough going here. There's very little to find.
At least I'm putting my skills to good use. Those 2 levels in Ranger are actually paying off quite well right now.
Yeah. It's almost as if Rangers are designed for this kind of play, and they don't get to do it very often.
Ever.
I know. All right, so you hear Burlock is just going. So you just see this little dwarf going, looking under every rock.
Is there any of those chicken things?
No.
I will say, you don't have to stand still while you do this. You can kind of travel at a slower pace, like someone just keeping the vehicle behind you, so you can make a bit of progress.
Okay,
You
so
don't have to stand
since, I,
perfectly still doing this.
since I'm still doing foraging, can someone else do navigation check?
Someone. I'm Sentinel. I've already mentioned.
Hmm.
I will
Ash has
attempt.
flash of genius.
I will attempt to navigate. I will try my
Look,
best.
we know how it went when I did it.
Roll
Is it just a
natural one.
is it just a survival check, right?
Yeah, survival.
It's already better than anything I did.
I will use Flash of Genius because I'm just gonna
Okay.
see if I can get the navigation on the map. Just using the map as a reference.
You progress forward, and it's a slow pace. So, but you feel like you're going. Yeah, you press forward through the mountains. Coming, and you're continuing on that straight path that you came from. So you're pretty certain of that. Like, you haven't turned around, you haven't changed direction. You came that way from the Fields of Fire, you're keeping going in a straight line. You're pretty certain of that. Okay. Your foraging coming up nothing. I'm assuming you decide to pick up the pace. And Burlock takes over the navigation for the next leg.
Yep. I just send it back like, all right. Did you find anything good? Or is it just more rocks?
Okay, so what are we trying to find? Just anywhere now, or we try and go back to Bazaar?
Yeah. Are we out of the Fields of Fire?
Oh yeah, the Fields of Fire are long behind you now.
Okay. Do we want to
kind of-
start? Do we want to toss a coin ahead and?
Let's toss a coin, and then while we're going, let's look for any landmarks that may be of use.
Yeah, to follow it to the bazaar.
I was actually going to ask Ashara for a little bit of help or an idea about where to go. Have you been this far?
Seems. I think if we keep going the direction we're going, I think it's a little familiar.
Okay.
Just a little
Funny.
bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're serious? Oh,
I didn't. No, I didn't. That was completely nice.
Asking Kashara that, does that give me advantage on my next navigation
No,
check?
it's just like a meta.
It's like a hint.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. Can't blame me for trying. It had to happen.
Roll a d10.
how many hexes that we're off?
Okay. I will. Remember, someone can scout with the bike to give advantage.
Hint, hint.
I will try, but I'm not a good scout. I will try.
That just the fact that you said you're doing that gives you advantage. So roll again.
Thank you. So another survival check. Okay, I can do that.
It just means we're not going to have that sentinel. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either natural one or 4. I prefer the 4, thank you.
Oh, I'm back in armor.
All right. So you press forward. And I will say, because you know to stick to the mountains, like the mountains are pretty clear, you find yourself inching towards, you start to see those Fields of Fire once again to your left, and you know to turn back into the mountains. So it slows your progress, but we're not going to make you end up in the middle of the fields. As soon as you see the fields, you know to turn back. Okay, so it's a slower progress. You don't quite get there, but you can keep pressing forward.
I turned the map around and went, we're really in the right directions on this thing. Final navigation check of the day?
Yep.
Okay.
And with advantage, because I'm assuming someone's scouting. You don't need it.
So I don't need advantage? Okay, cool.
Someone make a perception check. Anyone who wants to.
Me.
These mountains are familiar.
Haven't we been here before?
Yeah, we have. I think what we're looking for is nearby.
Last night. We were here last night.
No.
The statue
The
or
angel.
the market?
I think the statue is nearby. Yeah.
Statue?
This is. I recognize that particular. She kind of like points out like a strange formation, which kind of like is a very sort of, it resembles like a hook reaching out of the ground. It's like that seems familiar. I think the
Okay.
angel is nearby.
Okay, well,
Let's start
Good.
searching.
Our navigation is turns out that the best way to navigate in this place is just by pure coincidence and luck. Let's go find
Or
that statue.
having faith.
Yes, that too.
okay, well,
You did hit in the right direction. Saying that is not coincidence. That is, well, I mean, it's
having
coincidence, but it's not chance.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so DM, is there
That's
anything that we
searching
need
this
to roll
area.
to actually get to find the area, like do a search, or
But
we
yeah,
just
so now
run
you
through
can
it?
kind of search this area and
Okay.
perception checks as well. Or survival, whichever you prefer. And
Yep.
without issue, you find... And here's what's good, is that once you found it one time, you can pretty easily find it again. So this is how this works. And there, before you, you see that cluster of rocks sticking out of the ground, and you hear that music, that soft singing in the distance, and you know you know exactly where you are, and it's there. The rocks, the light, the beacon of light that sort of shines out the ground. You found the statue once again.
Now be careful with your parking. Don't run into it. Very fragile.
Okay, well, we found the
So everyone-
statue. Now,
The legend said buried, right? Or under something.
Well, the legend said that where they died, this statue came up. Let me. Oh God, it's in one of them.
While they're discussing
It's-
legend, I go over to the statue and pay my
Yeah.
respects, and essentially the same things I did last time. Pay my
do a
respects to the area
covert,
and the calming.
covert ceremony.
It's not even covert. It's just a ceremony to pay my respects to the thing. It's
Yep.
nothing big, nothing fancy, because this is the only holy ground that's still here,
Mhm.
and it's kind of waning. It's kind of being pushed back. So any prayers might give it strength.
Make a religion check with advantage.
This is where I roll 2 1s, isn't it?
Mm.
Close.
16. You sort of bow your head in contemplation, and as you kind of close your eyes, the statue kind of in your mind almost seems to, you feel a presence from the statue, and it's a familiar one. It reminds you of the figure you saw while you were bringing Ava back. As this presence sort of reaches out. And just like that, it's gone. And you look up at the statue, and once again you see those tears rolling down the statue's cheeks, down its chin, to collect in its cupped hands. And it sort of sits askew a little bit.
Well, it's still here. It still has some resonance.
Could I check with Stone Cunning to see if it's a natural to this plane, or if I can see if there's something buried underneath it. To see if the legends are true.
I would say that would be with your stone cutting.
Yes.
Survival with advantage.
Okay. I'll take that.
$19. What are you trying to ascertain?
First off, we've heard that the legends say that the angel rose from where they passed. Correct?
Well, where Oleanthus and Yael perished, a spring of holy water sprung up where they fell. Is the only.
But then in the
Holy
vision, wasn't it
water.
Yael holding the sword? Wasn't that the thing?
In the vision, only one of them died at the location, I believe. Yes.
I'm trying to figure out if there's something else here that we haven't seen yet. Like there's something buried underneath the sand.
Well,
Like
You
Mhm.
start to excavate,
Oh,
sort of digging away some of the sharp stones that surround the base of this place.
Mhm.
And there's something there. There's like a gap in the rocks almost that's been buried by the sand that's built up. The wind blowing in from up the mountains has kind of blown the sand into a pile on the like banks of one of the rocks. And you start to dig, and there's a passageway, a small, narrow passageway that leads somewhere.
filled with sand or like,
it's
Currently,
like a
yes.
yeah.
the passageway sort of sand, or is the sand blocking it, and there's empty gap afterwards.
There is a passage, but it's buried and blocked by sand.
I point this out to the rest of the crew. Says, guys, this might be something interesting.
Does that mean we have to start digging?
Digging.
With respect, we're still on holy ground.
Yes, respect digging. Let's just hurry up and get all of this
Has anyone
stuff out
got
of
a
the way.
wineskin?
Wineskin?
Yes, I've got a water skin. Not a wineskin.
Fairly sure wine skin is just a water skin that he would put wine in.
Yeah. Are you offering? I'm asking.
I'll pass the water skin over.
I take it, empty it out, then fill it up, and hand it back.
Okay.
Consider it holy water skin.
Okay. With GM approval.
So you can add you can add a skin of holy water.
Unless it's changed from last time.
No, it's still holy water.
Yeah.
All right. I have added that into my list. Instead of emptying it out on the ground, I would have drank the water, but that's beside the point. Because that's not, you don't waste water here.
Yeah, it's probably a terrible idea to waste water in hell.
Yeah, no.
I can make a certain amount of it every day, but you can only carry so much with you.
Yep, then I would spend some time trying to excavate the passage to the point where we can go in, or at least ask Ashara to go in to have a look to see if there's anything pertinent in there will be useful for later.
How about you scout the area for some foraging stuff, and we will try to do that.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to make another foraging check.
Yep, so it'll be survival wisdom.
Survival wisdom.
And I'll do the digging.
Okay. Strength athletics.
24.
So you find 3 rations.
Ooh,
As-
yay.
Scouring this place. Perhaps it's something to do with the holy. Wait, is that correct? I think it's 3 rations. I think it's every one you get above.
No, if
Maybe 2.
it's every 2 you get above.
So you find 2 rations. Yeah.
All right. So I'll chuck
And
that in the treasure
just bits of strange vegetable matter, like odd mushrooms and a little sort of tough shrubs and odd plants that you feel like you could probably rustle up something with. I mean, from where you've lived in the mountains, you've subsided off hardier.
Yep.
It'll do.
I've just added +2 rations to the treasure, the bag of holding.
Okay. And an athletics check to dig.
Knew that was the reason why I put myself up there. Digging. 28.
Okay. You dig and you dig and you dig, and everyone kind of comes in and offers a little bit of help. And you dig a hole big enough for Kashara to fit through. And she says, "Well, if you don't hear back from me, that's probably because I've been killed, so remember to re-summon me if that happens."
If you're not back in 3 days, we'll resummon you, hopefully.
That's a long time. Make it an hour.
2.
All
Four?
right, all right.
Do you want
don't know
company?
how-
I can send an enemy with you.
Don't worry about it. Just that's quite all right. All right, wish me luck. And she
Good luck.
disappears down the hole.
May the angel be with you.
As you call that out, she says, "Oh, can it?" You hear, "Can it, can it, can it," echoing from within.
I just thought may need some holy water.
And you wait. And you wait. And you wait for what seems to be like a extraordinary amount of time. And then about 30 minutes later, she emerges. Yeah, this place goes really far down, but there was some sort of barrier that was stopping me keeping going. It looked like worked stone.
Worked stone?
Yeah,
As in the floor.
yeah, and stairs.
So
I mean-
how far does it go down before there's stairs?
A little while, and then there's something that I stopping me from keeping going.
Mainly,
Something magical, you think?
Maybe
it may be because of your
it
nature.
felt just like a maybe.
Or I'd say
Well,
not
I
your
don't know what I
nature
think.
because
I don't know how I
you're,
feel.
you're becoming not your nature, but your species
I'm
or
still
breed.
I'm still a fiend, so yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's like a holy
The-
place fiends can't go in kind of thing.
Hmm.
I don't really know
Do
how
you
to feel
feel
about that,
uncomfortable? Do you feel uncomfortable being this close to it?
but a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that might be the problem. Well, again, Kashara, thank you. This has definitely helped us.
You're so incredibly welcome.
Actually, I have an idea for that.
Oh yeah.
What if I cast magic aura on you?
I just want to point out that the holiness of this area is very brittle. Very brittle and constantly under threat. So
But-
screwing with the whole with that.
It
Might
doesn't
just-
mess with that. It messes with her.
Yes, but what I mean is, if you try to get around the protections, it may weaken them and therefore weaken also the area, which is under threat.
I don't think so because it honestly it shouldn't even register. I mean, this magic it would make her appear not fiendish to you, not fiendish to all sorts of spells.
Well, how about we
Um,
do it this way? Cast, with Kashara's permission, magic aura on her, and then leave her with the vehicle. So if there's something does happen that we need to be aware of, she can try to get to us to let us know what's going on as a backup mechanism. So if something's going on really up here that we need to be aware of, she can come and grab us. Otherwise, she can stay up here and do some guard work.
Would you be all right with that, Kashara?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds alright. That sounds alright to me. Yeah.
That work.
Warwick, how's that sound for you?
I think that's better. The place is fragile.
Oh.
Very, very.
Very fragile. But with
I
this
will-
statue and knowing that there's something underneath it.
Yeah,
it's
I'll cast
very-
it on her. Here's the thing. So with this spell, I change the way the target appears to spells and magical effects that detect creature types, such as a paladin's divine sense, or even the trigger of like a symbol spell. So it is incredibly deceitful. It's really good at tricking things.
Can you cast it more than one person at a time? This...
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Oh, concentration, yeah.
it's not
She's
concentration.
been casting it on Lulu every morning.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm just making sure that it's if you cast it once on Kashara, it's not going to destroy
No,
it for
'cause
the Lulu one.
I cast it on an enemy and
Okay.
Lulu when we went, because I didn't want to leave Lulu alone. Yeah, and so for the creature type, I'll just
Well, how about you
say
ask
that
Kashara
it's-
first? What creature would you like to be, Kashara?
I'm not not asking
s-
her that. I'm
Well,
just
not-
making
We have to.
Not
it's
like
always
Fae,
consent.
not Celestials. Celestials will be targeted, I think.
yeah, regardless of what she says, I'm turning her into just like a beast. Like
Okay.
not celestial, not Fae doesn't even like occur to her.
I think,
Not
I think
celestial.
Halo
That's
might-
making her appear celestial is a little too far for Reservoir.
I think a
Like,
Halo
I
might
That
think-
that was a mistake. Whoops. I messed up on Syrinscape. Ignore that.
Oh, I've got
That sounded really good. It's like Kashara going, "Ooh, that tickles."
All right, so are we excavating more of this tunnel and heading down ourselves then?
I mean, let's
build if
do it.
possible. We might
Let's
need
go.
a long rope to get down. If there's a drop before the stairs.
So
How
who's
far
going
was
in
the drop?
first? Can I get a marching order?
I can always turn someone into something else.
I'll go first.
I'll go second then.
I'll go third.
I'll be
Maybe
last.
in the middle. I'm squishy.
And
I'll be
Okay,
last.
So then,
Ava will
So-
probably be second
Between the
last then.
Genasi. Yeah.
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 so
Having light.
striking
would be
up.
nice.
Yeah, so you strike up some lights. I'm just going to assume you're doing that.
I
see
can
in the
dancing
dark through that.
lights.
Yeah.
I can't.
Uh,
Dancing lights.
So you sort of squeeze your way down through this gap in the rocks, and it's claustrophobic at first. Like, Warwick, you can just about fit through with your armor. And then you kind of almost like fall a little bit, and your boots hit stone, like smooth, flat stone. And putting up the dancing lights around you, you see old, weathered, like stone, like a white bricks leading downwards.
Again,
Deeper
with stone cutting, what I understand is just Rocker's native Avernus, or is it different?
Make history with advantage.
Alright. Sorry about this. 13.
13. You're not sure, but whatever it is, it's old. That
Does
much
it
is sure.
appear to be the same type of stone that the angel was made out of?
Vaguely, yes. It looks to be, it's white. It's like a limestone almost.
It's the same color, which means to Reservoir it's probably the same.
Yeah, this is.
I'm
it's
not a
road.
dwarf. I don't have.
It's crumbling, and there's parts, particularly here towards the entrance, where you see the dark, black and obsidian rock start to like break through and crumble this alabaster stone and kind of take over a little bit. And ahead of you, you see a doorway leading further downwards, a flight of stairs. And I will move you onto a map.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It's a narrow corridor, big enough only for you to go.
Oh, there we go. Yep, I see it.
Question: Is
one at
Lulu
a
coming
time.
with us?
Yes, she definitely will be.
Okay.
I will just drag her on the map.
Okay,
And
very
I
small.
will have full rage as well, since we had so many rests, and we should also be at full hit dice since we took so many rests.
I'll just put Lulu here for now.
Yep.
We'll just.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for anything trap-worthy, etc. Being cautious.
Okay. Perception check as you proceed.
It's something.
There doesn't seem to be anything in the way of traps. It doesn't, in a sort of metaphysical, spiritual way, you don't feel like this place would be trapped. It doesn't feel like a place that, it feels almost temple-like.
This feels weird.
Well, out of place, certainly.
Fair.
Lulu, does any of this look familiar to you?
No. Not yet, but maybe if we keep going.
Let's keep
I
going.
feel like there's something I want to see inside. I have to know what's inside.
Of course. Well,
Go
Ghost,
to the door
keep
and
walking.
open it.
Yeah.
Keep walking up.
Crack the door open. And beyond you see a circular chamber. There are torches lit in a circle around. And in the middle, a hole reaching deep into the earth. Where it seems like the ground, the marble has kind of caved in and fallen into a sinkhole. Again, a sign of decay of this place.
Okay, just be careful where you step, everybody. Just be careful.
Of course.
If you walk all
Around-
the way in. No.
Around you, you see 7 more doors in a circle.
Is this? I don't understand. Is this some place that this definitely did not spring out
Oh,
of someone's
we didn't say
death?
that.
This is a temple of some
Oh.
kind.
What on earth's going on there?
Didn't say that. Do.
Dynamic lighting. Oh, you might
Yeah,
have
dynamic-
Explorer mode turned on.
I don't. I had it turned off.
Hmm.
Nope, no, it is. There we go.
There we go.
Okay,
Didn't mean to turn it on, but there we go.
okay, we're back. So, 7 doors. Does that mean anything to anybody? Anybody?
Can I roll a religion check to see if I can figure out anything that could be related to it?
Our researchers?
Yeah, investigation to
religion?
see.
By all
Religion
means,
or
yeah.
investigation?
Um,
7. I would say 7 doors, so it would be religion because we're
Aren't
in a holy
there-
place.
Like in the
7
same
planes?
way. Well, I
The
think
only, the only thing that related to anything celestial with the number 7 is the 7 heavens of Mount Celestia.
I was gonna say,
But-
like in the same way that
But there's
in
8
Hell.
doors because there's a door behind you. So
Yeah.
Where we came from hell. Wait, no, it was 8. There was 8
It's the same.
heavens. And Avernus was a heaven.
No, there were 7 heavens and 8 hells. Avernus was fought over, and it
became another
turned
hell.
into the 9th hell. Yes.
So that could be the 8th door.
That would make a lot of sense, actually, given that that leads to Avernus. Yes.
So where are we looking for? Are we looking for a heaven or a hell?
Are there any symbols or anything on the doors, or?
There are. There is. They're a little abstract, but you see one that seems to be a crescent moon, one that seems to be a circle with a line through it, another a sun, a dragon on one of them.
Are these holy symbols?
Make a religion check.
I'll do that one. Yeah.
Nah, you're not sure, Warwick.
I'm gonna Tides of Chaos because I really want this.
Okay.
Where's my religion? There it is.
20. You recognize the dragon as the symbol of the platinum dragon, Bahamut.
These could be holy symbols.
No, they're not holy symbols.
They're
They're not.
abstracts.
They're scribbles that, like... Why do artists need to be so abstract in their artwork?
That's clearly Bahamut.
It isn't.
It clearly is.
It's not Bahamut.
May I roll a religion check as well?
I'm sorry, which one of us spent the past decade of their life in a holy city?
Yeah,
And
okay.
who's the holy scholar?
You think, coming back to realize this, you think of the number 7. The 7, you remember, Bahamut has a realm on the 7 heavens of Mount Celestia. One of the planes, one of the 7 of those heavens, is his realm. So then you look at the others and think, could these symbols represent each of those planes of Mounts of Celestia?
I voice this concern to everybody's like,
See, they're
I
not
think
holy
it
symbols.
so that's. But
Well, it is a holy symbol.
They're just
It
representatives of the
represents
plane.
his
They're not
domain.
holy symbols, they're just representatives of the planes. So which plane are we needing to go to? That's the...
well,
We
Lulu,
focus most of our
when
strengths.
you were. Do you remember what god you used to worship? If you worshipped any?
Or is there a door that you feel particularly drawn to?
Is there
Or-
one that looks like
I
Lulu?
feel the opposite one. This
This
one
one.
here.
I should be moving Lulu and Ava as well.
Yeah. Ava and Lulu were just going, oh, look.
There's,
That one.
yeah, definitely the opposite one.
What is the
We've-
symbol on that door?
That symbol is a triangle with a circle aglow on top with sunbeams radiating outwards.
That,
And do we know what that is or what that stands for?
it looks like the Traveler. It might be a representation of Traveler.
No, with your religion check,
Hmm?
you could recognize that as a peak of a glowing mountain.
Can someone just... Can someone hold me? I wanted to see how, like, the hole in the middle. Just... I don't want to get too close, but I want to look down.
I can turn you into a hummingbird.
Not again, please. My arms were sore for a week after that.
Haven't been here for a week yet, have we?
My arms
mean,
No,
still
it's
sore.
only been, I believe, 3 days since we left the tower.
If
It's
someone
been
just
more than
holds me,
that.
I'll just try to lean over to look down.
You
Into
look
the
down the
darkness.
hole, it just descends into black. And you see,
I can see blackness
The-
for a while, but
as the sort of the marble and the alabaster give way, you see the jagged spikes of the mountainous terrain of Avernus seem to like reach up and try and like it looks like it's kind of growing up and climbing up.
okay. This place is fragile.
Yeah.
If I cast detect magic, do I get anything?
From where you are right now, no.
Okay. And I think that will stay up for like 10 minutes. Yeah, so long as I maintain concentration on it.
Shall we do a blessing ceremony or just a ceremony? This is a religious place, and why not?
I mean,
So-
does
Does anyone
anyone
get married? Look to
does
the
anyone know how to
church statue again.
cast light? Does anyone know how?
I mean, I have the dancing lights.
I just want to see if this continues on forever. And
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
wondering.
send my dancing lights just as far down as they can go.
It's almost like the light disappears down the maw of a great worm with jagged lamprey-like teeth as these spikes jut outwards and upwards, and it keeps going down and down and down and down.
I have a feeling that before we would reach the bottom, we would probably be impaled. Delightful
Well,
thought, really.
it doesn't bode well for us. Well,
Lulu, are you sure this is the right door for you? You think?
No. But I feel
But you're
something.
drawn to it.
You're
I
drawn
am,
to it?
yes.
With a
Yes.
nod to everybody else, I would check the door to make sure there's nothing on the door which could blow up in our face.
It's certainly not magically trapped, I think.
This is a temple. I don't think it's going to be trapped.
All
Let's
right, if
try.
I die, it's on you. Opens the door.
Warded.
Warded,
Oh.
maybe, against evil.
Crack open the door and push it aside, and before you, you see another area where the ground is collapsed in, and a much larger hole resides, with a bridge leading across it, and then branching off on 2 different directions.
All right, I will slowly, carefully walk my way across the bridge. So I will be about here when I start crossing.
Let's try to do like one at a time,
As
just in
you
case.
look over, you
Mhm.
see the narrow pathways either side of you continue onwards in both directions into much larger chambers on both sides.
Could I use Lulu as a...
Out.
I was going to say, as a divining rod to figure out where we go. All right, do you feel better this way or this way?
Honestly, I feel straightforward. Through the wall. But maybe it goes around.
Possibly. Question, Lulu. Can you fly towards the wall and see if the wall's a illusion?
She kind of flies up towards it, kind of just sort of nudges against it, kind of tries to like poke it with her trunk.
No, it's there, but there's something on the other side of it.
All right. Well, I will wait here and wait for everybody else to cross and then decide where we go from there.
Is there solid ground like to the side passages so we don't
Yeah.
put too much weight into this bridge? The place is
Yeah,
being
I think-
decayed by Avernus.
Yeah, I would move to the left if I had to choose a direction.
Okay.
So I would move over here.
My,
Two natural 20s for bridge integrity. So
You're kidding me. There's actually
is
bridge integrity.
A-okay.
Can I play as a bridge?
Bridge is fine.
So-
Bridge is fine.
This is
Mental
my
Just one person
character
at a time.
now.
Just one person at a time moving across.
Yeah.
So Ash,
Taking it.
I'm gonna
carefully.
keep an eye out just in case I have to polymorph anyone.
I have to reload my roll 20 because it is
I'll
lagging
go
my
next.
tech.
You're
Yeah.
reloading. I'll go next.
Natural 1 for bridge integrity.
The Brigadoon. Ava next.
Yep, while reloading.
Yeah, Ashe would go last, I think, for sure. But I have to reload. Google Chrome is just taking too much RAM, so
Yeah, I'll move over then.
Yep. Oh, I can't move over at the moment. So
I can.
okay.
But I got enough
I'm with
mission.
Ash. Oh, right.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's keep going, shall we?
As you press forward, again, this place seems really brightly lit, considering it's buried underground. Like, even when there aren't torches, there's an effervescent glow to the air, which means you can see straight ahead. And ahead of you in a circular chamber, the first thing you notice, the stairs leading downwards, and an ornate mosaic that wraps around the wall, which you can see the back half of.
Oh boy, yeah,
A-
it's getting big out here. The big chamber.
All right. Well, if we're moving towards the chamber, I would be following Warwick and then exit out into the chamber when Warwick enters the chamber.
God, that's.
You
Thank you for the
see-
subscription, Polter.
You see now the mosaic in its full glory, as well as shelves of old ancient scrolls and writings in dusty, no, not dusty. Despite the apparent age of this place, there's no dust. Nothing to suggest any tampering. It's kept pure. And yet, the age and ancientness of this place is ever so apparent. And this mosaic, you see on the left-hand side, towards the beginning, a lush, beautiful pasture of infinite green grass and trees and flowers. A idyllic, beautiful place with streaming running water. And then you see, approaching it from two sides on the next, two armies. One of blood red and black armor, sharp teeth, fangs, horns, and spears, and the other of noble, plated, angelic figures with glowing halos and wings marching towards each other. You see a clash, a battle on the next, and you see an infernal force triumphant, and the burning of the grass, the rendering of the trees, the river parched and replaced with a river of screaming souls. You see a depiction of a war and the seeming creation of the plane of Avernus, or at least to how it is you know it now.
Is there any
Yes.
writings or anything on the mosaic? Or is it just
Not on
image?
the mosaic.
What about that there? That's just a
That is
Star.
a sort of altar. It is plain. It is just, there's no decoration, there's no candles or insignia. It is just a white block. Plain and humble.
Can I ask what this is?
Those are sconces, candles.
Ah,
They just burn with a warm flame.
I was just like, oh, there's a circle there.
It's very abstract, this map.
Very nice.
Everything
map,
in
though. It
Avernus
works
is
well for
abstract.
this.
The two lines.
Those
down
are shelves. Those are
Shelves, okay.
shelves filled with ornate with scrolls.
Shall we look at the scrolls? Be careful.
Yeah. I'm gonna tentatively step down the stairs if I can.
I will follow to keep an eye on Reservoir. And Ava's taking the back end to make sure no one sneaks up behind us.
The floor of this place as well is a beautiful, beautiful mosaic of spiraling patterns. And it looks like the mosaic almost seems to... It looks like it's in imitation of a grassy field. As the small little bits of green ceramic and blue and the occasional yellow for a flower, it's an imitation of what Avernus maybe once was.
Feels weird. I mean, it's good. It's almost holy, but doesn't feel right in Avernus. I'm keeping an eye out to the passage to the north, Ava's keeping an eye out to the passage to the south.
Anything like this to survive, even.
It's being eaten away, believe me. That's what was down the pit.
Still, it's
That's why I come here and I
Unexpected.
pray to give it some strength.
I mean, the bigger question is, why is this even here? Is that just a portal over? Or is this just something that they stayed over here?
I think we're probably still in hell.
Oh yeah, we're in hell. It's trying to eat its way through. It's going to.
Yes, I don't think it
But-
was a portal. I think this is just a hidden holy place here.
But I think the next question you've got to ask is, who made the mosaic? It depicts the fall, so someone used to be here.
Well,
Did those scrolls say anything?
Just be
If
gentle.
anyone here speaks
I'm look-
Celestial?
Yes,
I do. I believe I do. Let me double check.
I would hope. Lulu
I
does.
spelled
Yeah,
this
I
is
do.
Eternal Celestial.
Inscribed on the scroll, just sort of on the wrappings that make it up, you see a title. The Averniad.
I just very carefully, and I'll being a nerd, will prestidigitate my hands clean, make sure that I handle it very carefully, delicately, as old text should be, carefully and delicately held. Just sort of tug on the string and see if I can open it up.
You can. And it opens up, and you're afraid that something clearly so old might be so delicate, might crumble, but no, it still holds its rigidity and strength. And you see before you a poem, but not like a few stanzas, an epic of beautiful writing depicting the story of the Averniad, the fall of Avernus. It begins aeons ago with a young cosmos and the great wheel still not fully turned from the primordial chaos of the plains. It speaks of the legions of heaven, a force of angels under the command of a celestial marshal called Ashe, who rode a golden-winged lion. And it goes into names of the angels that fought in this celestial legion. And you read names. Let me just find them. Oh, sorry.
And I will translate this.
You read
out loud.
the names. Shazakiel, Saniel. You read Gathreladon. Names continuing like these depictions of these warriors, these fighters of nobility and justice. And then, towards the end of the list, Zariel. A warrior in the Legion of Heaven. It then goes into detail about Avernus, a paradisical plane, and how, as you've already ascertained, Elysium and the Seven Heavens desire to add it to their realms. But they were fought by legions of devils who hoped to claim it for themselves. You realize now the scope of this poem is impossibly grand, and that you could spend a lifetime here reading the details, the fine intricacies of this grand narrative, this piece of almost forgotten history, perfectly preserved in this place. But
And Reservoir does read until someone stops her.
Yeah, I'm gonna
5 minutes.
throw something at Reservoir.
How long do you
after
wait
10
until
minutes.
you stop her reading? You
10
finish
minutes.
the first scroll and go to pick up the second. And then
What?
you're stopped.
Is there anything interesting in there?
I would assume that
Reservoir?
Reservoir would have been
And Reservoir
talking
has been like translating it into common as she reads it. So it takes her like a couple.
as the names of the different angels were read out. Did Lulu react in any way to any of those names?
Like one name, Chizakiel. There's something about that name. And
Is that you?
Chizakiel and Ashmedai.
Are they good or bad?
Why I feel angry hearing those names.
Maybe they
Traitors?
betrayed you?
Skip to the end. Like pick up one of the last ones.
I will, with some heartbreak, skip
Find
to
something
the
else
end.
to get ready to throw.
She does it.
Quickly.
With some heartbreak, have like
Turning
20
to the last
seconds of
page to figure out
patience.
who the murderer is
Don't
in the
get
novel.
swept up.
We'll go to the last scroll.
We've only got to find out.
And
now, Basher.
You scroll
carefully.
through, and there's a point where the scrolls, you pick up the titles and you see Averniad, and then it stops, and the next title you read is Part 1 of the Trial of Asmodeus.
Well, that sounds entertaining.
So you put that back and then pick up the last of the Averniad.
Yeah.
And in the last few tomes of this poem, it details what is called the Great Betrayal. Ashmedai, the commander of the Celestial Marshal, wrenched Avernus from both the then 8 hells and the 7 heavens and claimed it for himself. And then he aligned himself with the 8 hells, and thus Avernus became the 9th. Ashmedai's legions schismed, half the angels still loyal to him, and half still loyal to Mount Celestia. It is at this point Ashmedai abandons his name and takes on a new one, calling himself Asmodeus. And his legion of fallen angels, using Avernus as a base, conquered hell in its entirety, wresting its crown from the brow of the former Dark Lord named Ahriman.
Ambitious.
And during the fall of Avernus, Zariel's commander, this angel named Chazakiel, was one of the ones that followed Asmodeus. Zariel, and it details Zariel and a small band of other angels, still loyal to heaven, broke away from their commander and began a long march across Avernus before escaping down the river Styx. And that's how the story ends, with the betrayal of this great commander, fallen from grace, pulling legions of angels down with him to become the Dark Lord of the Nine Hells, Asmodeus.
This completely new knowledge that no one else knows about.
I mean, there are legends about the origins of Avernus and Asmodeus, but in some ways they got some things right, but this is, I mean, those were mere legends. This is perhaps the truth. Yeah, we got some lore from on the origins of hell and Asmodeus that gave us 3 legends, but that ain't one of them. Oh man. Yeah, Reservoir can live in here.
All of this is nice and well, but how does it relate to our current quest?
Well, it might actually be very relevant to the situation.
Relates
where
to
are we?
being.
We are in...
I didn't know Zariel at this point. I remember her telling me about this, but it was after I met her.
You
This
said
is
that
even before I knew her.
Yeah. Lorian, you said that the scrolls changed from the Averniad to the Trial of Asmodeus.
Correct.
Are there any other names on the scrolls?
Not that you see.
Okay, so it's these 2 epic poems.
Yeah.
Is this
Okay.
another bookshelf in front of me here?
Yeah. So one bookshelf is the Averniad, and the other is the Trial.
Okay.
Maybe look at the last page of the trial, see if there's more information we can glean.
I will, again, with some heartbreak, go to the last scroll of the trial.
To summarize,
Mhm.
long after the events related to the Averniad, a strike force sent from the 7 heavens penetrated hell and captured Asmodeus, bringing him back to Mount Celestia to answer for his crimes. And Asmodeus claimed rights under the Pact Primeval, the first law and the first legal code to ever exist, a founding agreement among the planes of law that had emerged out of primordial chaos. There was a trial, and the trial was appointed as by Primus of the Modrons, the supreme embodiment of purest law, the neutral arbiter and judge. Because Asmodeus' appeal to the Pact could not be ignored, the crimes alleged were limitless, spanning eons. Every testimony against him was seemingly endless, as an angelic horde bore witness one after another. Primus, eventually growing weary, called a halt to the testimony. The scope of Asmodeus' acts had been well established and the sheer quantity was irrelevant. However, now comes a passage about Zariel. who had not yet had the opportunity to testify as the atrocities she had personally witnessed. She was outraged. She violently demanded that she be allowed to speak, and when Primus ordered her silence, the altercation sprawled into a brawl which completely disrupted the proceedings. Azaria was escorted outwards after a strong admonishment from her superiors, and the trial proceeded eventually. Asmodeus' defense was simple. Although his comrades interpreted his actions as betrayal, they had not actually violated the principle of law, and he had upheld the law by preventing an alliance between Hell and the Abyss. The blood war, which is now fought by his devils, safeguarded law from the chaos of the Abyss. And, in the end, the court found Asmodeus. The court resolved in Asmodeus' favour. They may have been evil, but they were lawful acts, and in accordance with the pact primeval, and which now the law, which had been the bedrock of heaven, became Asmodeus' holy right to test the merit of mortal souls, to tempt them, and to claim the souls due for hell. So by this trial is how mortal souls came to be susceptible to temptation and to being siphoned down into hell.
Okay.
Was that still before you knew Zario?
No,
Or does it ring a bell?
it rings a bell. I remember her being angry about that. She was angry about... I remember the anger more than anything. It was a righteous and powerful fury.
Fanatics tend to be like that.
Well, she was there. She was amongst the legions that were directly betrayed.
Not being allowed to speak of peace, you think she was betrayed by the heavens? And this is her way of lashing back out to right the supposed wrong?
Maybe.
Maybe she just wanted to forge her own path after she was let down.
Well, if I remember correctly, I mean, wasn't Asmodeus the one that actually made her an Archduchess of Hell? Then again, that was all in one of the books. It might not be accurate.
Maybe that's when he first had our eyes on her. During the trial.
Possibly.
Nothing speaks to job promotion down at Roger's Fury.
But at this point, she was still an angel. I think what we're really missing is the transformation of when she turned from being an angel to being one of the Dark Eight.
Well, as much as I'd love to take these scrolls with us, do you think people are ready to learn this?
I mean, I think I would be terrified to take them from here. They've been so well preserved. I don't want to think about what hell would do to them. I mean, the heat alone.
So again, it becomes another story for travelers to tell.
Oh yeah, when we get out of here, we're covering all this back up. The seal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought that was a given.
I don't really think the people that live here, or these fiends or things, even know where this place is. So,
Burlock will look around, see if there's anything else that might be useful information that we may have missed. And if that's
No,
the case,
it's
then we'll keep.
It's a very simple. It's a very
You said-
simple.
And the altar has no signals or anything that it could be dedicated to? It's just a simple white marble
It's
stone?
just white marble.
Hmm.
What happens if I put one of the scrolls on the altar?
You rest it
Anything
down.
special? Yeah.
Nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Burlock puts his hand on the altar, mutters a few words of prayer to it, and then walks off.
Make a religion check.
I was going to go down and do something else. Pretty much the same.
Nope.
You don't feel like they reach. Maybe it's being so far in Avernus, despite this seemingly holy place.
I go down and try to correct and re-guide the prayer. Can I do a
Religion
roll?
check.
Thank you.
Natural one.
I don't want to do a natural one. But it's been, oh god, yeah.
Natural 2!
So
We've
then,
used the D12. Can't use that. And I know that Will's not going to do a flash of genius from that.
nope.
Been rolling badly for a lot of these important ones, but yeah.
important. It's more.
It's still better than what we
character.
had.
Yeah, it's character progression.
I'm going to put everything back perfectly just as I found it.
So no little post-it note where you read last.
Oh, I
No,
remember which ones I've read.
No folded
I've read the
corners.
first one. No! You heathen!
That's why you failed the religion check.
That's why I was kicked out of the monastery. Folding corners in the library.
Oh.
How could you fold corners of holy text?
Books are meant to be
Well,
rigid.
it's actually a scroll. It's
They-
not a
on a
book.
pedestal.
They are meant to be read, and I read them. They aren't meant to be creased and bent and folded.
Underlines words he doesn't know.
Grease, bend. Alright, I will start walking
Shall we go to the north?
to the north
there's
to about
nothing
here.
dangerous
Seems
in
to open
here.
up again. I'll go a little bit further.
Strength. More
Hmm?
from over here.
Oh, Lily. Okay.
As
So
you enter this chamber, the sight of what you see takes your breath away. As surrounded by the remains of this temple, leading downwards into, you see a perfect circle of lush green grass and flowers, and you see what you can only assume a radiating warmth and sense of well-being radiates from this place. And you see what you can only surmise is the last remnant of what Avernus used to be. Perfectly preserved here in this temple. And just the enormity of what that might be brings you to stunned silence. Sorry. Yep, go on.
I think this is why we cover this place up when we leave.
We can't see it. You're in the
think-
way.
Heard no protests.
This is why Kashara couldn't enter. I don't think anything could come in here, even if they wanted to.
I think that they can. That barrier's getting weaker.
Lulu kind of just wanders into the center and just kind of like sits herself down on the grass. You see her eyes close again. And there's
something. No, I've lost it.
Can I bend luck for Lulu?
Yeah.
Gives her a D4 to any check that she's making.
Flash for genius maybe as well. Just come on.
I would say that wouldn't really apply here. You can't intelligence your way into like a spiritual reawakening kind of memory thing.
Oh, just give her moral support then. You got this. Come on.
I'm gonna say, does
Moral
Burlock,
religious support.
does Burlock give any kind of advantage? What would I use?
If I had guidance, I would, but I don't have guidance. But I can just give him my moral religious support.
I can't really do anything like that.
Her eyes close, and suddenly there is a flash. In your mind's eye, a projection of a memory reaches all of you. And you see a blonde-haired woman clutching a glowing sword kneel down towards you.
All that's left now is the dream. All that's left now is the dream.
And then she plunges the sword into the ground, and an impossibly bright light flashes upwards, emanating from where she planted the sword, and fills the vision, and suddenly like that it ends.
Was unexpected.
Do we dig?
That was her.
Is
That
it
was
here?
Yael.
Very hour before the fall.
That was her last words to me.
All that's left is the dream. But whose dream? Hers?
The
Yours?
dream. I think the dream linguistically would allude to a collectively held one. Perhaps in a more metaphorical sense, perhaps literal if it was one individual who was maybe a leader or a guide.
Using the information from the dream sequence, is this area in front of anywhere near the land that the sword was plunged into?
No, that was in the flat plains. This is in the mountains.
Okay.
This is somewhere different.
So we need to still go through and maybe try to work on the dream machine.
Well,
That might help.
dream machine would be a good start. The knowledge is there, we just don't know the full story.
That's what it means. All that's left now is the dream. As in, how to find it?
GM question. What would happen if
Hmm.
Burlock starts to descend the stairs into this place?
You walk down, and as your foot touches the grass and sinks into it, this feeling of bliss washes over you. It's just a feeling of just weightlessness, and it's not to say your worries and concerns aren't there, but it's like a reassurance that despite everything, it'll be okay in the end. And this reassurance that even in the darkest of what you suffer through, the light still is there at the end of the tunnel. Even in this dark place, this light can still survive. Maybe it can grow again. And that's the feeling you get as you step down. And
This is new.
you feel revitalized. You feel a surge of energy, a sense of satisfaction. You gain the charm of vitality, which means whenever you choose, you can give yourself the benefit of a potion of vitality as an action, and then the charm goes away.
Okay.
The stars on the outskirts of the area, they statues or what are they?
Those are lanterns again.
Lanterns again.
Lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're smashed ones.
A few of them are crumbled as well.
I can go towards the one
I
at the
would-
top. There seems there's that covered to the north.
Appears to
That
be a
apple?
small alcove, a small shrine of sorts.
I'll
I would
go and have a
take-
look in there.
The moment of, I was gonna say relief, but understanding there is light in the tunnel, just to spend a few moments and meditate.
Yeah,
Well,
the rest of
nothing
you,
I've done.
see this. You see Burlock. This light, his expression shifts. It's definitely noticeable.
I investigate the alcove to the north. Anything behind?
It's a simple shrine. The actual any indication of what deity this shrine would have been for is long gone. It's just a reminder of a former place of worship, holding a former place of light, holding out in the dark. It seems to be in service almost to this reminder of what Avernus used to be. This
Is like the curtains part, and I can move them across like the others.
you
or-
can, yeah, you can part them.
That's what I was thinking of doing. And do just a simple prayer to the unknown shrine. As I do that to most religious places, especially down here, there's a lot of religious significance. Heck, this is only one door.
After a few
And as
moments, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, also, and as you take the opportunity to take in this forgotten piece of history, this spark of light in even this darkest place, we're going to end the session there,
Okay.
because it's getting late.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's been an eventful session.
Mm.
We got lost, and then we found something which we've been looking for quite a while. which we weren't actually looking for. Kind of. Maybe? No one's commenting? Okay. Right. I'll take that as a yes.
No.
Well, we're looking for like the sword buried under the temple, which we only know one place, which is like pseudo temple. It's like, let's look underneath. Actually, no, there's something underneath there. That's what I mean.
I called
Oh,
it.
I see.
We've been here before,
Yeah.
not just this far down. We need to search these locations that we go to. We need to go back to the place with all the demon chickens and start searching that place too.
No, we don't want to find a KFD, Kentucky Fried Demon Chicken.
I mean, we didn't want to, desecrate this place before. That's probably why we didn't search,
No.
Oh, there's that too. And probably. Anyway, we'll be back next week with more Pathfinder, possibly Call of Cthulhu. Still working on it. And Circus, I believe. We also believe that we're finally going to launch City of Mist this Sunday USA time on YouTube. So it's going to be YouTube only. We're still getting everything last minute things finished. I still need to do a character. But look at me like that. But we should be finished. And should be ready and should be ready to go. Been waiting for it for a long time. It's been in the works for 6 months maybe. And strangely, at the same time, I just got my books and my box set for the exact same campaign. So who knows? But that's going to be happening hopefully this Sunday USA time. Hopefully. So thank you for the subscription, Poltergeist. Thank you for your support. We'll go around doing outros, and I'll find someone to raid if we can get some Syrinscape, because I know you turned it off. So
I was ready for when you asked.
Okay. So Reservoir, if you can do that.
Hey everyone, I'm Dell. I've been playing a nerd. Reservoir, the Water Genasi sorcerer. This is interesting. I really just love all the lore drops.
I'm glad because it's always a bit of a gamble. Like, do people enjoy this kind of like metaphysical like?
I definitely enjoy
action,
it.
But
it's interesting for sure.
Well, it's similar to the sort of like the dungeon that you ran, in that like I'm trying to figure it out and take all the tiny clues and piece them together, except in this case it's lore clues instead of like how does this 5-dimensional space work clues. And really I like any kind of puzzle, and you're really good at giving us those, for which I'm greatly appreciative. Everyone else is going to tell you where to find them, but don't find me. You can only find me here, please. Okay, bye.
That's called stalking.
I think Will is next.
Will.
Yeah. All right. It's been a lot of fun. I've been playing Ashe the Fire Genasi Artificer. Really cool. Like the lore stuff is really awesome, I think. But I think for me, the most important takeaway is Zariel as a person, individual, versus just being a big bad is super cool. Because just knowing her motivations is what, like, it's when we die to her, it'll be worth it. Yeah.
Well, it might give us some ideas on how to appeal to her as well.
Maybe.
Will's like, nah, we're gonna die.
We're dying for sure. Can we bargain for the sword? Nah, she's just gonna take it. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great night and a beautiful day. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And remember to catch us again next week for Circus, and also the other thing of the show, for all the other shows on this channel, because GoblinCaveTV, Karsh worked so hard to keep this going for the last almost, it's been 3 years now?
4 years?
4 years?
3, 4?
3 years. So
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy 3.5 birthday. So yeah, hopefully you guys have been enjoying it, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. So yeah.
I've been MrLiveProducer. I've been playing your, actually using my ranger skills, dwarf barbarian ranger, which has been interesting. A 9 in survival. Damn, that's great. Yeah, you can catch me at MrLiveProducer on Twitter, Twitch, all the socials. I think a friend of mine said it best. I am the hidden hand behind a lot of things, which is very apt.
Sounds quite bad or good at the same time. I don't know.
Both.
Lorian?
Hi, I'm Lorian Ross. I've been the GM for tonight. And, yeah, you can catch me here when I'm either DMing or playing Azzy as part of the Circus of the Broken Chain, Kobold Sorcerer. I have a lot of my work in progress projects are coming to a head. I am one song away from finishing my EP, which is a song that's fully composed. I just need to write lyrics now. So it's very close to being done. And already the marketing cogs are starting to turn. So expect some stuff soon. And yeah, that's... in the meantime, you can find my stuff on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, all your streaming services at Lorian Ross. And I'm on Twitter at Lorian Ross. Follow me for viral tweets about gnolls. Because that's a thing that happened this week.
Yeah. It did.
You were so right, though.
Totally. And I got into an argument with someone that, yeah, anyway. About on the same tweet. We're going to raid someone different. If you can see in chat, we've got our raid message but altered a bit. That's because we're actually going to raid someone in Portuguese.
Oh, cool.
Underneath the raid message is the English to Portuguese Google Translate. So you can say hello, you can speak to them properly. The reason being is, as you can see what we do on our channel, we have some really over-the-top overlays. We spend a lot on them. But our Pathfinder 2 generic overlay is actually from Paizo. It was released last year. We heavily altered it. I spent over 50 hours altering it just to do the overlay which we do. Then I altered it again for Edgewatch. And these guys have done pretty much what I did for the Edgewatch game for their Edgewatch games. And that's what we're doing. That's why I'm going, hell yeah, even though we can't speak the language, I will raid these people. They need the love. They've done enough for, like, they've absolutely done enough for that, because I just am blown away by what it looks like. They've got they've got stuff which I didn't even think of, and I love it. So that's why we're grading it. We're rating Tierdos Montos. I butchered that, I'm sorry. Absolutely butchered it. But please share the love, say hello in Portuguese if you can. Again, the link is right there for you. But that's why we're rating it. So, whoops, wrong button. Let's get that raid working. Thank you everybody again, and stick around for the thing. Also, they just got raided too. So, yeah, stick around for the raid. Thanks everyone for coming in.
Catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.